Hello, arcade gamers, and welcome back to Biggie D's Arcade. Today, we're going to be doing my 46th Chill and Chat live on a Sunday evening. We're going to be talking home arcade, and I have a very special guest tonight. It's actually been some time since I've had a guest on this show. It's been, I guess, several months now, and I was trying to think of who should be my next guest on this live stream, and I had thought, why don't we ask Papa Brad? He's always in the chat. He's always attending these streams on Sunday evenings. He's always got a lot to say, and he has his own channel. So I thought that would be the perfect guest to have on tonight. Also, we've got a lot of information and news regarding this new iiRcade control panel by Glenn, GRS products that I want to discuss. And he's like our expert in the home arcade community when it comes to this ultimate control panel by GRS products. So let's go ahead and introduce and say hi to no other than Papa Brad's Gaming. How are you doing today, Papa Brad?
Man, I am thrilled to be here. What's happening, Biggie D?
Hey, how's it going?
Always wanted to be on your show, and I'm on your show. It's such a privilege, and thank you for having me, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm so glad to be here with someone that I totally respect. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't think of a better guest to have on. You're my third guest since I started this show. I'm 46 live streams in now. I don't do this very often. I try to just do my solo streams most of the time, but I wanted to get someone else on tonight, get some other opinions. Also, I wanted to talk a lot about this Ultimate Control Panel by GRS Products. And I've been seeing a lot of your videos and your content on your channel about it. And it really
obsessed with it right now.
Made me
my new toy.
Triggered me to want to ask you tonight. Hey, would you come on the stream and share some of this stuff with us tonight?
Anytime.
So, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Just had pizza tonight. Pretty cool. I put up a short of the pizza place I went to. It was named after Led Zeppelin, Red Zeppelin Pizza.
Oh yeah, I think I saw.
And they had a
short.
guitar from B.B. King just sitting there in the pizza place. It's crazy. It was fun.
Did they have any arcades there?
Man, I went on the search for Atari 7800 carts. I struck out, but I did discover an awesome pizza place. And drinking my coffee. I'm fully Biggie D'd out. I got on my Arcade Gamer shirt, which I wear all the time.
Very cool. I'm wearing my Biggie D's t-shirt tonight.
Official Biggie D's Arcade Gamers cap, so people know that I'm an arcade gamer. And oh, wait a minute. Sorry, wait a minute. I'm gonna get echo there, man. Sorry about that.
I'm liking the gear. I'm liking it.
Yeah.
Arcade Gamers. That's a cool looking shirt, cool looking hat.
And you are definitely one of the most legit people in this home arcade community. So, and I realize what an honor it is to be asked as a guest because you don't have guests. I was thinking, like, Biggie D, how many guests have you had? Like, not that many, like 2 or 3, right? Like, I got to be like in the under 5.
Yeah, a lot of what my show is, like, I'll start and then, like, I'll get into a groove and I'll just, I'll talk for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I'll just nonstop just go on about stuff.
Like, you're the opposite of Papa Brad. Like, I cannot monologue. Like, I prefer having people on. Like, that's just me. That's how I prefer to do streams. But you're awesome. You're awesome. You're good at it too. So I just want to tell you, props. I'm glad to be here, and whatever you want to talk about, I'm ready.
Very cool. Well, I'm happy you're here. Glad you came on. And let's get into it. Let's first say hi to everyone who's in the chat here. I think I could bring up the chat here on the screen. I'm still pretty new to this restream. But I think we're going to get some chats here coming up on the right side. But let's say hi to everyone who's in the chat so far. Looks like Jim Pacers fan said, I might have to watch the replay. It's been a long day. I know with the time change, a lot of people are having, adjustments and things to those times. So this is feeling a little later than normal until we all get used to this new time change. Atram Fanatic, he's saying, hey, Biggie D and everyone, I'm a little burnt out on the internet, so I'm going to take a detox, have a good stream, have a safe Thanksgiving, everyone. I need to do something more constructive. So I definitely understand that. Definitely, take your time away from YouTube. I've been trying to do a lot of that also, not, watching too much or consuming too much YouTube. And it's been good. You know, I've been enjoying myself doing a lot of exercise, watching sports, playing games, you know, modding my iiRcade this week. Um, so there's just like a lot of other things I've been doing other than watching YouTube. So definitely take your time and, you know, enjoy things outside of what, you know, we're doing here on this platform. Jason saying, have a great Thanksgiving, Atrium Fanatic. Papa Brad's Gaming, hello gamers, and we got him here as our special guest. Carlo is saying, hi, Jason, Atrium, Jim Pacers fan, Papa Brad, and Biggie D. Going to be a banger and mash show tonight. And then he's also using our emojis, the Arcade Gamer emojis. So if you haven't become a member yet, definitely do so. It's only $1 per month. And that definitely helps support this channel. We've also got Made in Canada saying, let's go. Brooklyn Menace doing his emoji with his flames. Mystery Encoder is in the house as well.
All right.
He says, opens tab and browser. Here's some funky music. What WTF? Where is that coming from? And look at this. Glenn's Retro Show is in the chat.
Man
He's saying,
himself.
game on Sunday Fun Day. So that's pretty cool having Glenn in the chat listening.
Man,
Hearing our
awesome
first thoughts on this new Ultimate Control Panel we just got installed on our iiRcade. And let's see here. Anyone else? Andy's Game Room. Howdy, y'all. Dark Realm Gaming is here. What's up, guys? And Gotham City Arcade. Hey, Biggie, thank you for the support tonight. I was watching a little bit of Gotham City Arcade earlier. He was talking some Arcade One Up, and that was some pretty good live streaming. Gotham City, I was enjoying myself. Very entertaining. And then Steps Gaming. Hey. Steps has made it as well. So, hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate you guys joining us tonight. We got a lot on tap to discuss, a lot of really exciting, interesting topics on tap. So let's go ahead and get into it. When I made these slides, these are pretty much made for OBS. So when I try to do it through Restream, they do look a little bit different, but we're going to work with what we got here today since we've got a guest, but I still want to show off some live streams or some slides during the live stream. So let's bring up this first slide here. And we're going to start the discussion with Glenn's Ultimate Control Panel, a GRS product that just released here in the last week or so. I got mine yesterday. I installed it yesterday. I've been playing Centipede. I've been playing Tempest, having a ton of fun going back and playing a lot of the arcade games with the 4-way controls. Also going back and playing some beat 'em ups and games that utilize the 8-way controls. It's just, I really like the game deck. The texture of the game deck is really cool. The buttons are nice. The joysticks are nice. The volcano buttons are cool. That's a nice addition. And then you got the spinners. And I've been having a ton of fun with Tempest. I've never played Tempest until I got this, and I've been hooked the last day or two.
And Biggie D, man, that Glenn's Tempest spinner is probably better than you find in an arcade. It's actually better quality than a real Tempest.
I'm amazed at the quality.
It's so much fun. I mean, I'm having so much fun with it. Honestly, I'm having so much fun. I made a tribute video with music in it, you know, because I just want to show the games with the control panel being used. So
yeah, I'm having a ton of fun with it.
Make a rock music tribute to Glenn's retro show and some of the games that you can play now perfectly thanks to his control panel.
Now, I just wanted to show this slide first. So this is where it all started. This is when we got our very first announcement of this product, when I first heard about it, and I was instantly hooked. I was instantly interested in it because there's, you know, these extra controls. Also, there's the quality behind the GRS products. And, you know, a lot of the GRS products, we have to go in and we have to do our own, you know, installation of these joysticks and buttons and all that hard work. Well, the Ultimate Control Panel, it was ready to go. It was pretty much plug and play. Everything was wired for us right out of the box. So I was instantly attracted to this product, and it was something I wanted in my game room and something I wanted to use to upgrade my iiRcade. Now, what was interesting about this announcement, it was during the time that iiRcade was still in business. It was streamed on May 5th, 2023, about a month or two before they went out of business. And I guess their plan was to partner with Glenn at that time, and then release this product in a collaboration with Glenn. And that was, hopeful for me. I thought this, was really going to push iiRcade to do better and to be more profitable and to be around much longer into the future. However, it didn't work out that way. iiRcade went out of business, and here we are. But we still have this amazing product that came out of it, and it's so nice that it was created right there towards the very end, and we didn't miss out on this, because this is just an incredible product, a lot of fun, and it's opening up me to a lot of new games and controls I've never had before. What do you think about the early announcement of this control panel and how they did it, live on, iiRcade's live stream, during their game days live stream? Do you remember this? And what
I
did you think
remember it.
about
Yeah,
it?
I absolutely remember it. I mean, I was excited for it. Like, I immediately knew I was going to get it. Like, as soon as it was announced, because I've been using Glenn's stuff before. I have Glenn's trackball on my arcade, on my Tempest arcade one up. I have his trackball. So I know Glenn is all about quality, and he wants us to play these games with good controls. And so when I found out he was going to do a control panel, I mean, I was 100% in, and I had already modded my iiRcade. Like, I'm spoiled rotten. Like, I've been playing with the 4-way to 8-way switcher for like a long time, because I literally, everyone knows the infamous video where I drill the hole into my iiRcade to fit that 4-way 8-way switcher in there. And I'm so glad I did, because if you buy arcades to play games, which is what I buy them for, being able to switch to perfect 4-way controls when you play a game like Donkey Kong, it makes all the difference. Or Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man, like the games I love, to be able to have perfect controls, it's a gift, It's a
Oh
gift.
yeah, I was playing
Yeah,
Miss
like you'll never go
Pac-Man,
back.
Pac-Man Plus,
Burger
with the
time,
iiRcade
Mhm.
controls, and I was having a good time with it. But now I'm having an entirely different experience with this control panel with the 4-way gate switcher.
Yeah, more
It's just like a
accurate. Yeah,
completely different experience,
you
and
don't miss inputs.
yeah, and it's more accurate. It feels right, and I like going back and playing these games that I was starting to get a little bit tired of, and they were
Hmm.
starting to kind of bore me a little bit. But now I'm getting new interest in going back and playing these, because now the controls are accurate, they're authentic, and they feel like they should. And I don't think I'll ever get tired of it now. I'll
Yeah.
be chasing high scores, and like I had said, when this opened me up to Tempest, I've been playing Tempest with those spinners the last day or two, and I'm hooked on that game. I
Yeah,
used to
you
play
can't you
Star
can't you
Wars.
can't play Tempest without a good spinner. I mean, like, you just can't play it. It's like, like, I couldn't playing it with a trackball or something, or with a joystick is not the same, or even a PlayStation controller. It's not the same as playing it with arcade accurate controls. I mean, these games were made for certain controls, and it gives you a much better experience overall if you have the right controls.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. It's
and I literally said I did not do a review. Biggie D, I did not do a review. I'm going to play it for a month, and then I'll give my review. Because will it hold up to Papa Brad's abuse for 1 month? And also, I want to be fair and balanced and honest, because like, this has been hooked up to the gate switcher. This is what I've been playing on. This is a fully customized 100% Samwa. I have the candy cab buttons and everything. This is like 100% like what you'd find on a candy cab. I've been playing on this for like 2 years. So to be objective, I need some time. Like, first of
Mhm.
all, it's different controls, so I have to get used to them. So I'm gonna give it 1 month. I have it timed out, and I'll do my actual official like verdict review in 1 month. I also want to see how it holds up.
Yeah, so I want to talk a little bit about
Mm.
what your experience was like when you first got it. So when it arrived at your house, you opened up the box.
I
You
wasn't expecting it. I didn't even know what it was. Like, what's this on my porch? It was like a surprise. Like, I guess I don't track, my mail that closely. And I will say it was a pleasant surprise when I got it, because I wasn't expecting it. When you come home on a Wednesday and there's a box sitting in front of where you live with something that's arcade stuff, you know what that feels like, Biggie D.
yeah,
That is a
yeah,
gift,
it's a great
something you've
feeling.
been waiting for but weren't expecting. So I was stoked. I mean, that's the only way I can say I was stoked. I was excited when I saw that it was from GRS. I mean, I was thrilled, honestly.
So you were one of the first people to actually install this on the iiRcade. Did you feel like not
When
having a
sparks came off of
video to
that box, I was
watch?
so quick to open it. I couldn't wait to see what it was, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
literally, I
So let's start too by saying that the packaging was very well packaged.
very well
Like everything
packaged.
was protected very well. It had these
Man,
foam
very well.
inserts on the outside of the control deck,
Look at this
huge foam
manual.
inserts
This manual.
that would
I mean,
protect it from any damage.
color color pictures, man. Color pictures, directions. Look at that.
Yeah, you get a
Beautiful.
really nice manual.
This is quality. I mean, look at all the parts I have I'm not even using. I mean, look, I got all this.
Yeah, and you'll get a
All
bunch
this
of parts, tools, all kinds
options,
of extra
ball top.
accessories you
You
could
know,
use for
you
this.
like using the balls? You like using
Yeah,
bat tops, ball tops.
when you were installing it, you were one of the first people to do it.
You-
So you didn't have a tutorial video.
I don't need.
You,
See, I
you
could do
didn't.
it in my sleep because I've spent so much time with this thing ripped open playing with it. You know, it was like I read the instructions quickly, but I kind of had a good idea of what I was getting into from the get go. Because I'd
So would you
already
say it
torn
was
my
simple,
camera
like a
apart.
simple process to install?
It was simple for me because I was familiar with it, but maybe to someone that's just has never taken their iiRcade apart, it might be a little more intense. Like my motherboard was already decased from the bottom panel
Okay.
because I did that when I did the GRS mod. When I did the 4-way 8-way gate switcher mod, I'd already decased all that stuff to make room for the 4-way 8-way gate switchers. So
Yeah, so I had watched Steps' video. I'd watched your video, and then I'd watched Steps' video, and Steps had pointed out something you didn't, in the
yeah,
fact that we have to remove the PCB or the board from the iiRcade protection. You know, this little box that they've
yeah.
created to hold it and to protect it. We have to remove it from that box,
Mine was already
unscrew it.
removed because
Oh,
of what
yours
I
was
had.
already removed.
Yeah, because I had done the mod with the gate switcher, and it couldn't fit with it in there. So I'd
Yeah.
already removed mine, so like I didn't have to remove anything.
And when you were removing it the first time, did you feel like you were going to break anything, or did you feel like you were pretty safe
I
what you were doing?
just I just tried to take my time. You know, I mean, it's so long ago I can't remember exactly. I remember it was a little tight. Like it just fat. You could just get it out. I mean, it was like very like you had to be very careful.
So for
But
me, I unscrewed it all when I installed the control panel yesterday. So
yeah,
you've got about 4 different screws you got to unscrew. You've also got to remove that
right,
ribbon cable there, which is on the left side of this board. And I noticed there was glue on mine, so I had to go and kind of remove the glue with my fingernails,
yeah,
and then pull real hard, and then the ribbon cord would come out. And then I would remove the screws, but then I noticed trying to get that board slipped through that little hole
it's tight,
heat
isn't it?
sink
It's a
was
little tall.
catching, and I was really shoving it through that.
Yeah,
And I was afraid I was going to break something or snap something off. Luckily, I didn't. But I'm
yeah.
worried, with some people out there that they may get frustrated and push it a little too hard and snap something off.
Yeah, a friend of mine said the same thing. He just did it. But I mean, it had to go in there somehow. You know, they didn't build the wood around it, so they had to get it in there. So
Yeah, that's true. It had to get in there somehow.
it had
So
to go in there somehow.
I was thinking, if I couldn't get it out, I could
Mhm.
start cutting the wood there at the top and, make that.
That's not necessary. It'll come
Yeah,
out.
I was
It'll come
already
out. You
thinking
just got to
ahead
have it
though,
just
if I
right.
had
You're
to.
thinking ahead. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I was able to successfully get it out and get
Yeah.
it
Don't
into the
panic
back of the
either, because like
monitor.
mine has been out decased and out of that wooden shell for like probably a year and a half. You know, I mean, ever since I did that mod, it's not
Mhm.
going to affect it at all, it not being in there.
And it
Um,
looks like JR just joined us. He says, "Hey, Biggie D, good to see you, JR." We're just talking some Ultimate Control Panel for the iiRcade with Papa Brad. So this is some images that we looked at last week. This was from the iiRcade Facebook group, Glenn's iiRcade group. And this was one of the first pictures I saw of it installed. And what's nice about it is it does come with the joysticks already off, so you have access to the spinner and the trackball a little bit more
mhm.
when you take those joysticks off. Do you feel like you're going to be doing that, or do you think you're going to work around the joysticks and just leave them on?
It really doesn't personally bother me. At first, I thought the positioning might bother me for like
Mhm.
playing Tempest, but it really doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I've been working around it a little bit when I play Tempest.
Like, you
My
kinda
arm
use your
kind of hangs off the
fingertips.
left
The
side
shape
there.
of it too, it's kind of like it's not like, it kinda like your fingertips. I use my fingertips when I'm turning the spinner anyway. I'm
Yeah,
not
and those
setting my
spinners
hand
feel pretty
flat.
good, don't they?
Yeah, they feel fantastic.
Yeah, it's a very heavy spinner, so
Mhm.
when you're touching it, it's going to spin for a little bit longer, and it's got a little bit of feedback, not feedback, but I don't know what you would call that, resistance, a little bit
A little
to it
bit, yeah.
when you turn it,
It's
which is
it's
it's a
not
good
it's not the kind of
resistance.
spinner that spins forever either. It is kinda like a real Tempest spinner in that, like, when you spin a real Tempest spinner on the arcade, it won't spin forever, like, freely.
Hmm.
Um, it has a very good feel. Like, all the trackball and the spinner, I'm very happy with, be honest with you.
Yeah, trackball is fantastic. I use the trackball on the AtGames Legends Ultimate all
Mhm.
the time, and I'm much happier with this trackball. Even though it's
You
smaller,
mm,
I'm enjoying this one
yeah,
more.
and
Like,
Centipede is the perfect test because 'cause you'll get a if your trackball isn't good, you will get annihilated instantly in that game because it's all there's so much movement you have to do in Centipede that if you don't have a good trackball, it's game over, you know? I mean, you can't even play that game if you don't have a good trackball.
yeah, I'm having a blast with Centipede. Like, I'm getting like a real arcade feel. Like when
Oh,
I
it
sit in
feels
front of
arcade
my
accurate,
at
dead
games.
on. I mean, I literally just played Centipede at Houston Arcade Expo. It feels dead on like what the arcade feels like now. It's
That's
great.
what I thought. Like I'm not a Centipede expert, but I feel like I'm getting a real, true, authentic, accurate feel when I play Centipede with this trackball. Where
Mhm.
when I'll play it on my at games, it's not the same. Like
Yeah,
I'm
it's not the
having
same.
fun, but it's not the same as this trackball. There's something special about this one. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know what
love
it
it.
is
I
yet.
have the GRS trackball on my MAME arcade too, and I love it. It's great.
Now you notice in this image how his is red and like you can see mine's not. How do
You
we
can change the
change the color?
colors. There's like dip switches. If you read the manual,
Hmm.
it tells you like there's different settings, and you just change the dip switches, and you can actually change the colors to some bunch of different colors. Let me go to it.
Okay. That's something I'm gonna probably end up doing. Now, do you have to
You can
do it
actually
from up
customize
under
it.
the control panel?
Yeah, it's underneath it. There's dip switches underneath, and you can see like the colors. It can be red, blue, green, magenta, cayenne, yellow, or white.
Oh, nice.
If you
Because
look
I'm
in the
noticing the
manual,
color I have mine set to right now, the default, it's really bright. And I think the
yeah,
red will
I have the
probably be a
blue. I
little
think.
dimmer. It won't be so bright.
Yeah, I have the
Um,
blue.
when you're playing a trackball game, it doesn't really matter because your hand's over it. But when you're
Mhm.
not playing it, that can get a little bit bright. So I'm gonna end up changing it to red, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I always like the blue. I don't know why. This is my personal preference, but cool that the just follow the in the manual. It gives you a dip switch layout for changing the colors. Pretty
Now it
cool.
comes with the ball tops and bat tops. What did you
Mhm.
install on yours?
It's crazy. Like when I started in the arcade hobby, I thought I would never like ball top joysticks. Now that's all I play with anymore. Because I started with a very American arcade setup. In my main arcade, I started with HAP controls. So like this is going to me, the control setup feels a lot more American, like American arcade style, which I think a lot of people will like, honestly. I've just become real accustomed to like Sanwa and Japanese type controls. But if you like HAP and the more American style arcade controls, they're gonna like this.
Yeah,
But
so I did both
I didn't
ball
use
tops
bat
on mine
tops.
as well. I chose ball tops as
Yeah.
well.
Mhm.
I've got bat tops on all my arcade one ups, but I've got ball tops on the iArcade, and
Yeah.
I like that better.
Yeah, I could play
Um,
both too. It doesn't really phase me that much whether it's a bat top or a ball top.
it's
Um,
nice though, and it's easy to switch them out.
it is
Super
easy to switch
easy,
them out.
and then tighten them with that
Little
wrench.
wrench, you just pull them up and
Yeah,
you screw it on.
it's
Couldn't
you
be
don't have to
easier,
worry
honestly.
about Loctite or tape or any of that like we do
No,
with the
man. You know what
arcade
I
one
like? You
ups.
don't have to open it up because, like on the arcade one ups, on a lot of real arcade hardware, you have to pop open the control panel, put a flathead screwdriver on the bottom, and screw that top on the top. Otherwise, you can't hold it still.
Right.
You know,
This, you
and
can do it from the top, and
you
you
can do
have
it from
the
the top.
access to do that.
It's
I do
actually a
like
very
that.
good idea. You know, as far as the joystick itself, like I said, I'm very used to Sandwalk controls, so I feel like the throw is a little bit longer for me. But it's just something I have to get accustomed to. Like the first games I played, like I felt a little at a disadvantage, because I wasn't used to it. But then
Yeah.
I went back and I played Donkey Kong. I think I got one of my high scores playing Donkey Kong. So I mean, it's like you're gonna get. That's why I said I have to give it a month to be honestly give it a fair chance and have the gaming time. Put some gaming time on it and some use on it to see what I think of it. But
And
overall,
what's your
the
thought on the
joystick is good.
volcano buttons? Are you enjoying
Love them.
those?
I love them, especially when you turn it on. Like I always like with the iArcade, it's like, is it turning on or is it not turning on? You know what I'm saying? It's like you kind of
Yeah.
cross your fingers.
Yeah.
Every time I turn, I was like, I hope it's not broken. I
Every
swear I pressed
time,
the
I think
button.
we all have that same feeling. Every
It's
time
like,
we
is it
turn
going
on
to turn
our
on this
arcade.
time? It's never not turned on. But I
Yeah.
have this fear because of the way they did it.
Yeah.
And
It takes there's some lag to it. It takes a few
yeah,
seconds
it's like a
before it
delay or
actually kicks
something.
on, and
It's
you think it's
crazy.
never going to
And
turn on, but it always does.
and when you start side loading games and stuff, using the mystery encoder pack, you're turning it on and off a lot. So you really start to get sick of the decision they made for the power on to the iArcade. I mean, the switch would have been nice just to have a switch. You click it on and off. But yeah,
So we're looking at your
I like the
setup here.
answer. I like the volcano buttons.
Yeah, the volcano buttons are a nice addition. I'm enjoying
Hey,
those.
check this out. Instead of that fuzzy picture, watch this. Boom. Show that.
All right, you got a better
Live.
one here. Let's
There you go,
get
man.
that
That's
up.
that's me. That's live. That's right now. Look, I'll put my hand in it.
Okay, we got
Ooh,
it live.
that's right
Nice.
now, man. That's it. That's Glenn's control deck.
Very cool. So we got
Plain
that little
sappy.
button in the upper right there. That's
Mhm.
going to be for the Viper board, which
I
right
can't
now
wait.
it doesn't have any use at all right now. But
I told
once
Glenn I want one. I want one. I'll buy it. Just when it's, I want to be one of the first people to have one. I can't wait to play it
so
and
once
see
we
how
get the
the
Viper
emulation
board
is.
installed, we'll by the switch of a button
Mhm.
be able to switch between the iArcade and the Viper board, and that's going to be so cool. It's going to be so nice to get that
100%.
difference in between the two different platforms uh, and to get to compare the games and how they play compared
Yeah.
to the Viper board to the iArcade board.
Yeah.
Some
The
games play
mystery encoder
really good
mod.
on the iArcade board,
Mhm.
some do not. So
That's
it'll be
true.
nice to have the Viper board and be able to play those other games on it. Also, it's going to open up a higher end chipset when we install that, opening up the ability to play higher end games. More shooting games, driving games, things. Because a lot of what we're enjoying and playing on the iArcade right now are classics. From the late '80s, early '90s. But once we get that Viper board on there, we can start playing games from the late '90s, maybe even early 2000s, and that's just right around the corner. Viper board's probably 3 months out.
Yeah. Plus the
Also,
Viper board, I think will be good for those gold owners that have really missed out. On all the fun we're having with the mystery encoder mod. I think the Viper board will be pretty easy if you have the control panel. So I mean,
now this is a video from earlier this year of Glenn with the Sinden light gun, and he's also got his Sinden GRS shotgun that's going to be coming out soon as well. And I like that it has the USB inputs on the front, easily accessible. We get two right there on the front. Plug in our Sinden guns, plug in the Sinden shotgun, and we're at it. We're playing light gun games. So you've played Operation Wolf. Have you played any other light gun games since you've gotten this?
just the two that came with it, I tested with Glenn's hardware. The
Thunderbolt.
Operation Wolf and Operation Thunderbolt, I tested. Yeah.
Okay, so those are already configured for the iArcade. We're going to probably have to do some extra configuring for the other games that were never made for the iArcade.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure.
And I've
I
been
mean,
in
I've
contact.
seen people that have had it working, but I don't know how to do it myself. And I mean, I haven't been successful doing it, but there are ways to make light gun games work.
Yeah, so I've been in contact with Mystery Encoder, and it sounds like there's going to be an additional application we're going to need, and also some config files to make some of the shooting games work, maybe even some of the arcade games. So I haven't ran into that yet. We're just in the first couple of days right now of purchasing and playing this thing. But as we expand our library and we start trying to play higher end games, shooting games, driving games, things like that, it's going to
Mm,
require extra configuration files and extra work to get these games going.
yeah.
Now you have the Sinden gun. Are you going to get the boomstick,
Oh,
the
absolutely.
GRS
Yeah,
shotgun.
I want to get that too. I want to get that too. One interesting thing I did notice sometimes when I hook my sending gun up to the GRS panel, I have to reconfigure it. Like it'll just start firing, and then I just hold on the right joypad and reset it, and then it all works again. But I don't know why it does that sometimes. But
So just randomly, you'll be
randomly,
playing.
it'll just like I'll go into the game and it'll just be like machine gun firing. I'm like, whoa, my gun's going off, you know? And I'll just hold the button, I'll hold the D-pad button to the right or whatever, and reset it, and then I just reconfigure it, and everything works. But
Okay.
I don't know. It could be just a ghost in the machine or a bug that I have. But I've noticed that I have enjoyed having the USB ports in the front of the machine. I did a mod where I put a powered USB port connected to the encoder board, the mystery encoder board. Um, but I have enjoyed having the USB ports in the front of the cabinet now, which is cool. So I can just plug it in there as well.
Yeah,
But I
we've
have
also
noticed
got
that sometimes I get that bug.
talking about those inputs on the front. We've also got some other inputs here. You see these little circles, these little dots,
Yeah, I
rubber, and they've got some like rubber inserts in there.
think that's for
So
like future accessories, huh?
yeah, so supposedly this is going to open up the ability
Awesome.
for us to mount like a flight yoke, a steering wheel for the future. So that's coming. There's just so much expandability and places where this can go, which is really cool because this is the very beginning what we're talking about this evening,
Yeah,
and it's going
it's
to
a
be nice to see and a lot of fun to see where all this goes.
yeah, it's a great multicade. If you're willing to tinker and you're willing to, experiment a little bit, it's a lot of fun. And there's a lot you can do with it. I mean, you're just showing Super Mario Brothers, with the Glenn's deck in front of it. I mean, how cool is that?
Hmm.
Who would have thought like a year ago that the iiRcade would be as awesome as it is today? Like, I would have never thought I would have as many games and as much quality as I have today that I have today. I mean, I have fantastic controls, unbelievable access to games. I mean, it's like, it's a trade-off though. But what did we give up? We gave up leaderboards and we gave up the community aspect. That's
Online
the part
play.
online play. That's the part that kind of is hard, but I mean everything else about it is actually really great. I mean,
Yeah, I
thanks to
didn't really
Glenn,
play online that
you
much,
know,
and the leaderboards are what they are, but I can give up that to get these games and these experiences and
yeah.
these controls. This is going to be fun for years to come,
Mhm.
and no one could have predicted it. No one could have known that iArcade was going to go out of business. No one could have known that Mystery Encoder could have figured all this out and made this
Yeah.
hardware work with this mod. So
And I just have to
everything kind
say
of had to.
thank you too to Mystery Encoder and Glenn for breathing some life into what would be otherwise a dead system, honestly.
Yeah,
If it
they've
wasn't for them, I mean, people would have been locked into whatever games it had when iiRcade went out of business, and that's all you get ever. So, we really owe a great debt of gratitude to those two people. I mean, Glenn followed through with the control panel, even though there was no iiRcade. Think about that. He
yeah.
made a control panel for a company that no longer exists
And we
because
paid
he said he would.
$165 for
It's
the entire
insane.
control panel.
It's
So
insane.
there's
The quality for
hardly
the
any
money
profit.
is like the quality for the money is. I've always found the GRS stuff like as far as the value for dollar. I mean, if you I buy arcade stuff to play it. I mean, I don't buy it to like look at it as furniture. I mean,
Hmm.
I can appreciate people that do that. I understand that concept, but I mean, really, anything I buy I'm buying it to play it. And I'm enjoying it. It's been a lot of fun. You know,
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with
the
mine. I can't wait to dig in more to it, get some more games on there. But just Centipede and Tempest right now is enough for me. At least I get to use the trackball, I get to use the spinner, and I've been heavily shopping sending light guns the last day or two. I really want to pull the trigger on getting one, but I know Black Friday's right around the corner,
yeah.
and on Thursday and on Friday we're probably going to be able to order a sending gun through Send and Shop for 20-30% off. So I'm just going to wait a few more days and just save a little bit of money. But I'm going to probably end up getting one of these sending handguns that we see in this video because the boomstick, which is what I want, is being delayed. It's delayed, I think, till January before pre-orders will
Okay.
start, and then it probably won't ship until March or April. So I just can't wait that long. So I'm going to go ahead on Black Friday and buy one of these. I'm thinking either a red or a black one. What color? You have blue, don't you?
Yeah, blue. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get a black one, probably, maybe red, and that'll get me by until the boomstick comes out. But all very cool stuff. So we've got a lot to talk about here in the next few weeks on Glenn's Ultimate Control Panel. But I want to transition. I want to get into AtGames. We've had some really big news this week in regards to AtGames, and it was in regards to new skids. We knew these were coming. We knew that they were going to be making some more. We just didn't know which ones. Are you happy with these choices?
That's a little bit of a loaded question, but honestly, I mean, like, I will say surprised by those choices. Can I say surprised by those choices? I'm happy that people have options. Honestly, I mean, I'm thinking like, I'm sure you know that I'm a school teacher, and I know that like some parents, they're just like they can't stand Halloween. They're just it's against their beliefs, So I mean, I'm glad that they have something besides the Addams Family because I love it. I love gothic stuff. I love creepy stuff. I love Halloween, but not everybody loves Halloween. Okay, as much as I love it, there are people that don't love it that much.
Right.
So I'm happy there's options, and like the dinosaur table got a lot of hate, but Magic Pixel has been a huge part of. It's been one of the most popular packs of pinball tables for AtGames. And honestly, like my grandson, when I'm flipping through the tables, he sees the dinosaur table. Like I like the Ice Age one more. I think it's a better table. But to him, he wants to play the dinosaurs. Like he does. That's all he sees is look, dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs.
Yeah,
so,
dinosaurs are popular with everyone. I mean, who doesn't like them? So I definitely think if you're going to go with one of those tables that are theirs, the Dinosaur Dynasty was a good choice.
I think sometimes we kind of look at things with like glasses where our glasses are like tinted with our nostalgia of like, well, it's not Jurassic Park. Well, it might not have to be Jurassic Park for like, a kid or a 10-year-old, they're just going to see dinosaurs and they like dinosaurs, you know what I mean? But I mean, I understand both sides of it.
Yeah. So I was streaming on Wednesday. I was doing a live stream on my PS5, playing some Zen pinball on the PS5. And I'd said during that live stream, I was like, I would really like to see AtGames do like a family friendly table like Snoopy. I think that would be an excellent choice. And so I saw it coming and I knew that they were going to go that route, or I thought they were going to go that route. Ended up happening because you definitely want to go the family friendly route. You've got the Addams Family, like you said, it's got that kind of goth, Halloween type theme to it.
Oh, absolutely.
It may appeal more
the dark
to adults
humor.
too,
The dark humor. It's like some people like don't like that twisted dark humor. Like the Addams Family is like black comedy. Not everyone gets black comedy. Some people they really don't like that.
But the Snoopy is perfect for like that family friendly atmosphere in your home. Where anybody can walk up to it. An adult, a child, a teenager, anyone can walk up to the Snoopy pinball and have a good time with it and enjoy it. A lot of us, the older crowd, grew up watching Snoopy or Peanuts, watching the cartoons. It was really popular for me as a child growing up. Definitely have a lot of memories of it. So when I started playing Snoopy pinball on my Nintendo Switch about a week or two ago, I was instantly hooked, and it brought a lot of nostalgia back for me, a lot of memories of that show, and just things that I remembered about some of the movies and shows when I watched it came back to me when I played the pinball. So I thought that was an excellent choice. I was hoping that they were going to do Snoopy because I'd been playing it recently on my Switch, and it ended up happening. So I'm actually really happy with it.
Man, the artwork, did they nail that artwork? I mean, the Charlie Brown speaker grills. I was like, man, this is like, might have been my choice, but boy, did they do a good job, huh? Looks great.
They did a really good job with this Snoopy artwork.
It looks great.
I think it was, I'm a huge fan of yellow. Yellow is like one of my favorite colors already. So this is something that draws me in when I see a big yellow pinball.
Yeah, it's
very striking. A pinball is something you want to be flashy. it's something you want to stand out. And this one, I mean, this is going to be the biggest, stand out in your entire game room
This
with
is a
this yellow.
monstrosity when you put that topper on. I mean, this is as tall as I am. Maybe not as tall as you are, but I mean, it's tall. It's up there, man.
Yeah, it's a big table. I'm 6'4", so I like that they've done the additional length on the legs. That's helpful. It's also got
Yeah.
the
I'm
as far as
6'2", and I
the
always felt like the
depth.
AtGames, the original one, was way too low for my height, and even compared to a lot of regular pinball, it was the flipper height, the button position was too low.
Yeah,
But
so the
this is going
main
to solve all that.
cabinet is deeper as well. It
Mhm.
makes it feel bigger. And then also it's taller. It's got that big back box with a topper on it. And that was another thing I wanted to talk about on the Snoopy
Yeah,
was this back box. What do you think of the back box and the choice to get
man.
these speaker grills and what they've done with the logos and the characters?
I'm not here to talk about another show, but I am on a show called Arcade Talk with T. McCloskey, and we
Mhm.
were all over like how the At Games pinball. It does not look like a pinball. It looks like having an arcade marquee on a pinball makes it look not like a pinball. And now that it's gone, I think they look. I mean, just the whole artwork and design is 1,000% above what they started with. I mean, I'm feeling really confident as far as with the artwork and the design now. I feel like they're at a good place. It
Yeah.
looks like a pinball machine. It doesn't look like some kind of janky arcade conversion from a pinball machine. It looks like an actual pinball machine.
Yeah, they've
Which,
got all the characters there on the
mhm.
side. You've got Snoopy there on the side, as well as Charlie Brown up there at the top. You got the Charlie Brown speaker grill covers, as well as it
Nice
looks
big
like
back box, big
the,
screen on for your back box display.
mhm.
Mhm.
And we've got the big topper there. What do you think of the
Light up,
topper on this one?
great, it's fantastic. Like I said, they knocked this out of the park. I mean, like if you're a fan of the Peanuts, I mean, this is fantastic. I mean, the
Now,
graphics and the artwork were great.
you guys were talking about the gameplay the other night on Arcade
Mhm.
Talk. I was watching as well. I pulled some gameplay footage here for us to watch here for a couple minutes. So this is the one I've been playing on my Nintendo Switch. Now
Cool.
the graphics aren't quite as good on the Nintendo Switch as they are on the PS5. So just know that. But if you want to get a some experience in before buying the table, or you just want to try it out, you can get these tables for like $5 on PS5. I saw
Mhm.
there was a deal on it last week. You could get Snoopy Pinball for $1.86.
Wow.
And what's nice about the Nintendo Switch is you can take it on the go. So I've been playing it at work or whenever I have a break. 5-10 minutes, I'll get a game or two in, and
Well,
it has
the good
leaderboards.
thing about Zen is their pinball tables are not real expensive either. So
Oh
like you can
yeah,
always buy a couple of like if you don't go all in and get like every table unlocked immediately, you can buy a couple at a time and just play them and enjoy them. I mean, it's a very approachable. The way they sell the tables is very approachable. I think
yeah. So what I've been doing is I've been going in and just getting the sell. Whenever they have a sell on one, I'll
Yeah,
buy it,
and they go on
and
sale all the
then what'll
time.
happen is it'll expire in like a week. Well, when that happens, then they put a new set of tables on sale. So I've just been buying them every time they go on sale, and eventually I'll have the entire collection, and I would have paid a third or a half of what everyone else has been paying full price. But that's the way I've been going about it. You also have a pinball pass you can get. It's like a monthly fee of $10. You can play
Mhm.
all the tables, or you can also buy coins. You can actually buy quarters and coins and just play. As you pay as you go, kind of like you would in a real arcade. So pretty cool what Zen has developed on the consoles. And I guess what's going to end up happening over time is they're going to end up bringing all this to the AtGames 4KP. So
Oh
we've
yeah.
got two right now. We've got the Adams family, and we've got Snoopy.
Well, when Wagner interviewed Zen, I mean, they were pretty much like, "What are you going to bring to At Games?" They were pretty much like all of it. I mean, they're planning on. I mean, I'm gonna put it this way: they like making money. Who doesn't like making money? And they're going to want to bring their tables to another platform. When you think about all the platforms they already have, they have what? PS5, PS4, Steam. The You said you bought it for the Nintendo, right?
Yeah, so I buy it for the Nintendo Switch, and
Switch.
I've been buying them for the PS5. I can actually bring that up here for us to take a look at.
Zen absolutely knows that this is a whole nother revenue stream for them, which is I think that's going to be good. That's good for AtGames and it's good for Zen.
So this is the website here for the PlayStation, and so we're looking at it here. If you go down to downloadable content, here it is. Here's all the games you can choose from. So any of these are potentials for, potential skins or other cabinets coming in the future. You've got Star Wars, you've got Borderlands, World War Z, Godzilla versus Kong. They've also got tables that they've created: DreamWorks, Garfield, Snoopy, World Cup Soccer, Twilight Zone, Star Trek, Marvel, and this is the newest one here. Is this South Park, and this is a lot of fun. Now, if you guys check this out, you'll see some are on sale. So, like this week, Godzilla versus Kong is 66% off. It's only $5. The sale will end in 4 hours. Well, when that sale ends, one of these other tables that are full price will end up going on sale. So just,
and that's more than one pinball too. So it's like what, like at least two. So it's like what, $250 a pinball table.
Yeah. So this one,
that's nothing. I mean, it's not a real expensive. Their prices are not real expensive. I mean, you just pay a couple bucks for each pinball table. If you want to gradually collect them, World Cup 94 is an excellent table. I agree, Steps. That's an underappreciated table. That's great. There's a lot of good tables in there.
Yeah, so any of those could become AtGames tables here in the near future. I know that they did that vote where they tried to get a tally of which are the most popular, and we thought maybe the next one would be whatever one was the most popular. It didn't end up happening that way. But who did you vote for? What table would you want to see next?
My number one would be probably Creature from the Black Lagoon. But pretty much, what I discovered from that as an observer of the results and the data is that movies are more popular than real pinball tables. If you look at the top picks, that most of them were movies. You had Star Wars, you had Indiana Jones, you had Star Trek, and those are all popular movie titles. So, I mean, movies are definitely more popular than real pinball tables, even though real pinball tables are what I want the most. I want them the most, but I'm talking about the general public, people that are not like, I'm an insane fan of arcades and pinball. I'm a huge fan of that. So my viewpoint is going to be coming from that. But from a general person looking for something to put in their game room or in their house, maybe Star Wars, maybe Indiana Jones or Star Trek.
Yeah. So whenever
sell better
Wagner
than
Tech Talk
any of the pinball tables that I'm thinking.
So Wagner's Tech Talk did that giveaway for the 4KP, and he's put in there, let me know what table you want to see next, or which one do you want to see them make in partnership with Zen. And I had selected Star Trek. I think Star Trek would be the ultimate. We've seen a lot of Star Wars pinball with the arcade one up, but we haven't seen a home arcade version or a virtual pinball version of Star Trek yet. So I think that would be a good choice.
Yeah, Bride of Pinbot's a very cool table. I forgot about that. They had that one. That's a beautiful pinball machine. That's got very good side art too. It's a very amazing table. I have films of it. If you go to my shorts on my channel, I have a lot of real footage of it, the entire machine. The Bride of Pinbot is a stunning pinball. The graphics and stuff are really well done. In the real world tables, because some real world tables, they're great games, but the side art might just be a logo. Like Addams Family, to me, I think that the graphics on the Addams Family are better than the real pinball. I just played the real pinball, and it's just the logo. It just says Addams Family, and people can disagree, and that's fine. But this is in my opinion, this looks better than the actual artwork they used on the actual Addams Family pinball, because it's just black with the
Rex
logo.
Had pointed this out, and I had kind of felt the same that he felt about it. Having the Addams Family logo up there at the top, is that going to be distracting when you're playing another game? and you have that Adams Family logo right there above the back box.
I'm going to say for me, no. And here's why. I mean, like, if you're going to theme something to one game primarily, I like it better. I mean, than just having it be black, because just having it be black doesn't really have that nostalgia of being a real pinball machine. Then, I mean, when you go and look at a pinball machine, is a significant part of the back box just black with no art? No.
Yeah, you're always
I
going to see something in that
they
bezel.
always put that, they're going to make that, that's like the billboard for the art for the pinball machine to pull you up and entice you to play it. So
Mm-hmm.
they're going to put the best art, the sexiest girl, the most action, the spacecraft exploding, the Death Star planet like in Firepower. They're going to put that image to pull you in to make you play that pinball machine. So I'm going to go totally against that. I do not want just a basic black. That's going back to just being like a straight up multicade or multi-pin.
Yeah, so this is the one that
I
you
actually like what
pre-ordered,
they're
right?
doing. Absolutely. That's the one I ordered, Adam's Family.
And you ordered it the weekend of the very
I ordered
first
it with the
weekend.
old design where they had the janky marquee at the top. I mean, the off-center coin door, now it has the centered coin door.
Mm-hmm. That's what we're
Um,
looking at here, is that it does have the centered coin door now. So they've fixed that, which makes me think, why did they ever have it off center in the first place? Did you ever figure out why?
I don't know. I mean, it's design, they're working on the design, they're prototyping it, I mean, real pinballs, a lot of them do have off-centered coin doors, like Godzilla's that way.
Sometimes, I feel like companies, when they're developing these prototypes, they do quirky, weird things like that
Yeah.
just to see what people will say or how people will react. I almost feel like
I
At
think it was a
Games
trade-off too. Yeah.
purposely did that to get feedback to see, like almost like they did it on
It had
purpose.
a really big builder's plate. Remember, it had the gigantic
Okay,
builder's
the
plate.
builder's
It's
plate
like,
was what was
what was
causing
more
it. That's
important, the
right.
builder's plate or having the coin door centered? Like they kind of focused on, yeah, we're going to put this big builder's plate with that now has the name of the pinball machine and a number on it. And
Yeah.
I think that was the thinking, that would be the cherry on top of the ice, on top of the ice cream cone or whatever, cherry on top of the icing or whatever. And I think, what they found out is that, no, people just want it centered and they want a smaller builder's plate,
Mm-hmm.
And, Jason, who's in the chat right now, I mean, you know, his kid gave the perfect design. And I think, we pointed that out too on our shows. I mean, it's like, and they listened. So thank you for listening at games. Even a child could say, hey, this should be in the middle. It had the little hand on it. Team of, have people say that would be a t-shirt we would buy,
Yeah.
Jason's kid's picture of the correct front plate for At Games Pinball.
Now, I wanted to take a look at these features here because this is not considered to be the collector's edition. This is like a standard edition. Is that right?
That's a standard edition, yeah.
Okay. So we've got the standard edition, which is the Adams Family. Started out at a price of $1,099. Then it went up to $1,199. I think it's at $1,299 right now until the end of the year. And then it'll be at its final MSRP of $1,499. Now I noticed the prices are about the same on the Snoopy, but the Snoopy is considered a collector's
Collector's
edition.
edition.
So what are we getting extra or different on the collector's edition? Like what is it that we get with it?
Initially I felt like it was going to be a bunch of hardware upgrades when they announced it, but it
Mm-hmm.
looks like it's just graphics, huh? I mean, that's what I mean, to me, it's what it looks like.
So just the artwork and just it being Snoopy makes it a collector's edition.
It'll be limited. They won't redo it.
Okay.
So unlike the Adams Family, when they sell out, they'll make another batch of Adams Family tables. They're saying when they sell out of Peanuts, it's gone. Peanuts is a done property.
They'll continue to make the Adams Family, the Dinosaur Dynasty, but the Snoopy, they're only going to make a limited number and then
And
they're
once
sold
those are
out.
gone, they're gone. Yeah, I think that's the
Okay.
thinking on it. I mean, on the
So that's
collector's
what the
edition.
collector's edition means, is that eventually the production will end and then that's it. That's your last opportunity or only opportunity to buy it.
That's my understanding of it. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's my understanding of it.
And all this could change as well.
It could change
Something
tomorrow.
I've
Yeah.
noticed with AtGames is
Yeah.
things change a lot month to month or week to week with them. So something that, I've just started following AtGames within the last couple of years, but
Yeah.
I've noticed this just in the last 2 years that things change drastically with them
Yeah.
from,
Yeah.
month to month. So who knows what else we could see. Now, one good thing about things that they change, they seem to always be adding or
They're
giving
not
us
taking away.
extras.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
they're
not giving
not
us less. They're not
right.
taking features away. They're not saying, well, we could do it for the same price, but give you less. They're not doing that. That would be bad, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they're not trying to
Some
cut
company would do
corners.
that.
What they're doing is they're actually trying to maximize, what they're making and trying to deliver on this product. So,
I say Mystery Encoder dropping Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone is one of my top 10 pinballs, along with Adam's Family. Twilight Zone is a fantastic pinball. Like Adam's Family, it has a very deep rule set, and it's a game that has a ton of replay value. Adam's Family is the same way, though.
yeah, so
But
I've
definitely Twilight Zone is a high replay, deep rule set pinball, for sure.
yeah, so I've been
me.
playing the Twilight Zone and the Adams Family on my PS5, and I do like Twilight Zone more than Adams Family, personally.
Yeah.
Now I
The
grew up
Adams Family,
watching
the
Twilight
outlanes
Zone.
are a bit
I
more
didn't really watch
frustrating.
Adams
Yeah.
Family.
And the outlanes are more frustrating because you have those pop bumpers right by where the ball can go out.
Mhm.
And also with Adams Family, you have the magnetic thing of when the house is going crazy and it's throwing the ball, and you have no control over that. So there's this element of you don't have control, where I think Twilight Zone is more predictable.
Twilight
Adams Family
Zone
is a bit of a wild card sometimes because you have the magnetic where the powers get activated and the ball can do anything when it gets to that center part.
Yeah, Twilight Zone is a tough table. It is not a forgiving table. It's now once you get into a groove and you're in the zone,
It's great.
it's
Yeah.
fluid and it flows, but you have to get there. And until you do, it's a very frustrating and tough table to play. But it is a lot of fun. And with the animations that Zen is doing, I would really like to see Twilight Zone. Also, again, like Snoopy, I grew up watching a lot of Snoopy.
Approachable.
I also grew up watching a lot of Twilight Zone where I didn't watch Adam's Family. So it's all case by case basis.
Imagine this
it's
too,
each
Biggie D.
individual.
Imagine this too, Biggie D. Imagine this too. Go back to the Snoopy. Imagine this. You're in an amusement park, and a lot of amusement parks still do Peanuts is still a huge property. Steps was telling me. Imagine if you're in the amusement park and there's just a row of these AtGames Snoopies, and you get up to go and play them. How cool would that be?
Yeah.
I think Snoopy is so approachable, and I think a basic table like that would pull a lot of people that are not huge. Like, I'm a pinhead. I love pinball. But, I got to look at it like someone that's not as into it as me. If they went up to that and played it, would they enjoy it,
Yeah. And you can see it sitting next to these other two, how the other two kind of blend in. They're very similar, but how that Snoopy really stands out and really pops. Yeah. That's, I think, an excellent choice in what they did with that one.
I think so too. A surprise to me, but still not a bad choice.
Dinosaur Dynasty. So Dinosaur Dynasty, I have a few little complaints about the artwork on this one. I had noticed that the artwork, like the outline, is very heavy around the dinosaurs. Did you notice that as well? Or was that just me that noticed that?
Yeah, I did notice that. Now I know. I didn't notice it before, but now that you say it, I do see just especially now the T-Rex looks pretty good, but the pterodactyl looks
real bad.
Crazy. Yeah, the pterodactyl is not that great. Like I said, my first impression was like those two side panels at the top, they should redo the artwork. But I did like the pterodactyl and the triceratops on the sides. I was not a huge fan of the pterodactyl. But art is subjective, I mean, I'm just saying, if you look at it does look like there's a difference in art though, if you look at the top versus the bottom.
Yeah, we'll have to see it in person. These are just renders, and maybe when they were doing their photoshopping and they just didn't, cut it out right and put it in there way it was supposed to look. We'll have to see this one in person. But I do think it was a safe choice with the dinosaurs. You've got all these tables to choose from, and I think this was the safe and probably the best choice because everyone, like we were talking earlier, likes dinosaurs.
People are going to hate when I say this.
Kids are going to like it.
I don't even know if I should say this, Biggie D, but imagine if they get Jurassic Park. Imagine if they do, because it's totally possible. Zen has all the Jurassic Park tables, the virtual pinball tables. it would be, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. It would be, I wouldn't like, this is a dinosaur themed table. You could have dinosaur games on it eventually, more dinosaur games than even Dinosaur Dynasty. But some people that would be sacrilege, because they would compare it to actual Jurassic Park, which is what they really want.
But
what
it
I'm
would
saying
fit.
is,
It
like,
would fit the theme.
the motif, the theme.
If you were playing Jurassic Park, it would fit that theme, and you could
Mhm.
get away with that and still get that experience.
Yeah,
Of
I do
having
not
that.
like. Here's what I do not like: this chicken head pterodactyl on the left panel has got to go. AtGames, come on, come on.
Yeah.
What is that? What is that? That's not scary. It looks like a chicken head.
Of all the dinosaurs they could
first-
have chosen, I
Yeah.
was surprised that that's what they chose.
It's so bad. Like when I first saw it, I said, "Is that a pterodactyl butt?" Because I thought it was like the pterodactyl's back end, and the other end was the front end.
Mhm.
And then T. McCloskey, who is huge into dinosaurs, he has a whole channel. Like, people don't even know. Like, he has a big channel that does content on Ark. It's like a dinosaur multiplayer game. And but he knew what kind of dinosaur it was. But for me, I was like, man, I don't even know what that is. Like, but that is not like worthy to be on a high-end pinball machine. Like that side, that top graphic art. The bottom, I'm fine with.
And then I was liking what they did with the speaker grill covers. I went the extra, mile on that to make sure that those even look like to fit that dinosaur theme with those slash marks. I guess that's going to be like raptor claw.
Yeah, like the raptor
marks.
claws. Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean,
looks good. So this is going to be more of their I would say between the three. The Snoopy and the Adams Family are on their own kind of level, right? This is like a level below that because you don't get the marquee title, you don't get the Zen table with it, you just get only the AtGames pinball tables with this one.
And it is an included table already, though, too. Yeah,
Dinosaur Dynasty is included on both the Snoopy
included, yeah,
and on the Adams Family. So you're not really getting anything as far as games additional on this one. Now, I did notice there are 4 games coming next year that will come with this one that do not come with the others. Did you see that?
What's that? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
So there's 4 games that are going to be coming out next year that are included with this table, the Dinosaur Dynasty, that are not included with the other ones.
Oh, so they're including the Natural History Pack 2 with it?
Yeah,
the second
so
pack. That's not a bad deal then. Yeah, because that's a whole nother pack of games.
And I just caught this looking at their website when I was shopping these because I was curious. I was like, well, what extra game are you getting with this one?
So you're getting the second pack of the Natural History.
Yeah, so let's take a look at it here. If you go down to product description and here included tables. So these here are the same tables I believe you're getting.
Antarctica, Africa, Deep Ocean, and Egypt. So you get all the new natural history tables when they come out, the new ones, as well as, I got you.
Yeah, these 4 right here are not unreleased, but they're going to be included on the Dinosaur Dynasty, but they're not going to be included on Snoopy or Adams Family. So if you can wait till next year, you're going to end up getting more games on this one than you would the others.
Yeah. And I think, is it Magic Pixel that made these games for AtGames? I think it's Magic Pixel, but these are fun games.
Yeah, so I haven't played any of these. I don't own the AtGames Legends pinball. You own it. So
I have all these.
You've played most of these, haven't you?
Yeah, I've played them. They're great. I like the Ice Age one the most, though, out of the natural history pack. But they're all fun. They're all different. They're all different experiences.
So this is just like a little advertisement that they had on the website with some features with this one. Themed light up topper, unique builders play, custom speaker grill, 2 months of pinball net prepaid, and 1 year of Legends Care. So it's the same. It's standard for all of them. They're all getting the light up topper. They're all getting the builder plate. They're all getting the custom speaker grills. So they're keeping all 3 of these very similar in like their features and what you're getting with it.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference we're noticing is with the collector's edition, which is Snoopy. There's going to be a limited run of those that will eventually end. They're not going to make any more.
No more once they're gone.
Now, I did see Carl O. He had mentioned in one of my comments this week
Mhm.
that he believes Dinosaur Dynasties it's prime and set up to be released at Sam's. That's going to be like its place to be sold
Oh, it's Sam's.
as at Sam's. Yeah, so that kind of explains also why it's different
Mhm.
than Snoopy and Adam's Family. It doesn't have the Zen
And that is
license.
good. That is a general population that is not pinball connoisseurs. That the Sam's people, like if you're just walking into Sam's and you saw that set up and you went up to it and played it, you might have a really good experience because you're looking at it like, oh look, dinosaur pinball, you
Hmm.
know.
And you
And
don't pay that premium, for the Zen tables. So
mhm.
that will allow them to hopefully lower the cost, get below that $1,000 mark, sell it in store, at Sam's. And from what Carlo's saying, he believes that Dinosaur Dynasty is going to be their kind of less expensive, lower end model that they will sell in store. So left to be determined, or we'll see if that actually happens. But I think that's a good theory,
Yeah,
and it makes sense.
and I know, like, is there any time to continue developing the Dinosaur Dynasty artwork even further? Like, I feel like the artwork could use a little bit more umph to it,
Hmm.
And I don't know if they're going to redo it again, but I mean, I think it could be even better than it is. I think it's good, but I think it could even be better. Of the three choices, I think it has the most room for improvement. The artwork,
Yeah, so that's something to note too.
and everyone said
AtGames
that
is
I've talked
listening.
to.
They've listened to everyone on the Adams Family. They
Not
took those
bad. It's
complaints
good. It's pretty
and
good
they went
overall, but it
with
could
it and they
even be
fixed
better.
everything pretty much.
Mhm.
So anything we're saying on these streams or we're saying in the chats, they're listening, they're watching, and they can make changes before they released. We saw that with Adams Family. There may be changes to Snoopy and there may be changes to Dinosaur Dynasty before it's all said and done.
Yeah.
And I like that everything we're seeing, like we mentioned earlier, all the changes are positive. They're all extras.
Mhm.
They're just adding to what we're already getting.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
adding, they're not taking, and they're giving us more options. Like anyone that's upset, like they're giving people more options. That's nothing to be upset about.
Hmm.
And it's not our money. Like we're not having to buy 5,000 Snoopies or whatever they have to buy. It's at game's risk to give people options,
Yeah.
and
And
it
Steph
shows they're
said there,
committed to this platform. It shows they're committed to having options for different kind of people.
and Steph says Snoopy doesn't need any changes. I feel that way too. I felt like
I
they
feel
they
Snoopy's
nailed it
knocked it
on
out of the
Snoopy.
park. I mean,
As long
like,
as the game plays good, I don't think they really need to do
mhm.
anything. I think they nailed it.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I
But
don't think so.
let's
We're getting some comments about
transition
us looking
now.
like nesting dolls. I just want to say this before stream. I asked Biggie, can you make me any smaller? I said, if you can get me the size of a postage stamp, I would be the happiest. If you could get me just a little smaller, I would be the happiest. But I was just joking with you. You know
Yeah,
that, right?
I'm
But
trying to make
I
do
think I
with what
think it
I've
is
got
funny.
here.
Yeah,
I'm using
yeah. I feel like
OBS.
I need to be making this. Like I wish I knew sign language. I could do the sign language while you're talking. But I love your layout. By the way, I'm not. I'm just having fun. But I'm
Yeah, I
saying
still
the
haven't paid for a
the
restream
graphical
yet,
layout you
so
do
I'm
is
still
cool.
making do with what I can
But
right
yeah,
now. So,
I said
um,
next time just get me a little smaller.
but yeah, whenever I'm showing my screen, it's just automatically picking you that size. So I
That's cool.
apologize that you're so tiny down there. But I wanted to share these slides that I'd made. But let's get in now and let's transition because we're about an hour in, go about an hour and a half tonight,
Absolutely.
and we've got one really big topic left that I wanted to discuss with you. And that's this Unico Nova Blast candy cab that leaked this week or was announced this week. Have you heard about this or have you seen it?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I saw some of the pictures of it, but it looks like you've got even more pictures. So let's check out what you got, Biggie D.
Yeah, so this is just an image here of the
Mhm.
cabinet itself. You can, play pretty. From what I've learned, you can pretty much play whatever you want. You can play PC games, you can play console games. You could put your own board in there. You could put an actual arcade PCB in there. So there's a lot of expandability in where areas and places that this can go. A lot of expandability. Um, I'm very
But
impressed.
I
Initial
am a
impression for
little bit
me,
too,
very
but I
impressed.
kind of I kind of want to say this caveat to it. Like this is not a turnkey. You buy it and you play the games on it. This is a do-it-yourself project.
Hmm.
Like it's most of the way there.
Yeah,
It's
it's not
basically the
done. It's not
controls, the
complete.
screen, and the shell. But this is not a complete arcade offering. This is something where you basically turn it into the arcade you want. It's like a kit. Think of it
Mhm.
almost like a kit, It's like easy mode for doing a candy cab, is what it seems like to me as far as the pitch I'm getting from what I'm hearing. I
Mhm.
mean, is that kind of how you feel about it?
Yeah. So if you watch my show pretty much every week,
Yeah, I
Brad,
always watch a show.
been hearing me talk
Mhm,
about how I'm trying to get my AtGames Legends Ultimate to work via OTG mode
mhm,
with my PS3 or my Wii, so I can play Tekken and modern Street Fighter games, and basically get a candy cab experience out of my AtGames Legends Ultimate. And I've been really unsuccessful in trying to get those
mhm,
OTG controls to work with those consoles. And I've been able to get it to work with my PC, but I haven't been able to get it to work with the consoles. And that's something I've really
and
wanted to do. So this is huge for me. This is going to fit and fill that void for me
mhm,
and what I've been wanting. Giving me a multi-cade experience in a
mhm,
candy cab form, and allow me to put whatever I want inside of it, and to be able to play, PlayStation, Xbox, and play online and get the competitiveness of the online play on this candy cab. I think this is exactly what I've wanted. It's what I've been hoping that Arcade One Up would do.
mhm,
I heard some rumors mid last year, or almost last year, mid this year, that the Arcade One Up was considering and was talking about making a candy cab.
mhm,
It was in consideration for the company.
mhm,
However, it sounded like recently, since John D left and all the changes within their company and all the financial issues that they've been having, it was sounding less and less likely that that was ever going to happen, or
mhm,
anytime soon, at least. So to hear this news that Unico has come in and that they've decided to make one, and they're going to make a much better one, much better quality one.
mhm.
This is huge. I think this is exactly what the community's been asking for, exactly what the community has wanted. And this is huge for Unico, and it's really going to hurt Arcade One Up because they've really missed out on a big opportunity with this.
Mhm.
But what do you think about candy cabs? Have you played them? Do you enjoy
I've played
them?
them a bunch. Yeah, I like them. I love them. I think they're great. Affordable candy cab. I mean, could be a lot of fun. I think this would be great for anyone that's into like Fightcade. Imagine hooking this up to Fightcade and playing your fighting games online with the Sandwalk controls. Candy cabs are really great. I mean, if you want a sit down arcade experience, that's what they're made for. They have a big screen, much bigger than most stand up arcades. And also the screens can be rotated. So if you're playing like a shmup, you can rotate it. I'm a fan of these kind of cabs. I'm looking forward to seeing what the build quality is like. And it's promising, but just keep in mind this is still at its core, this is a do-it-yourself project. Whether you put a JAMA board in it or you try to hook up a PC to it or a console, you're still pretty much going to have, in addition to buying the candy cab, you have to buy what you're going to play on it. This
Mhm.
doesn't come with any games. This is basically a shell, a screen, and controls.
I think, for me, and I can't speak for everyone, but for me at least, like, I have the consoles, I have what I
Mhm.
want to put in it
Yeah.
already, and I've been trying to find a place to utilize those consoles and play those arcade games, in an arcade
I mean,
experience.
my
So
only thing too would be
this
like
is what
the
I've been waiting for
right.
personally. But I hear
But
what you're saying.
I'm gonna throw one more thing at you you might not be considering. AtGames is a company full of engineers, and they have a hard time getting their stuff to work with what they do. What
Mhm.
makes you think that this is going to be better than what AtGames has been trying to do for years, basically trying to get all the consoles to be able to connect up to their system? What makes you sure that this is going to be better?
Yeah, and that's true. I mean, we still don't know. This is, very first week we ever
I
even
mean,
heard of this
we like to
product.
think
So
it's simple, but it
it's
might
got a
not
long
be
way
that
to
simple.
go. They've got a lot to prove to us, as
And we're
consumers.
talking about a low resolution monitor. Like
Mhm.
any modern console, it's not going to work with this.
Now,
It's a
good that you
lower
brought that
resolution
up
monitor. It's
too.
not a high def monitor. It's not a 4K. It's not even 4K.
Now,
It's a
it's good
lower
that you brought
definition.
that up too, because we do have some experience with
Mhm.
Unico. They do have a recent product that they made for the home arcade community. It's been very popular in our community.
MVSX for
Is the
sure.
MVSX, and I've never owned the MVSX. I don't believe you've owned one either yet, have
I
you,
haven't, but a
Papa
bunch
Brad?
of my friends have them, and I've heard good things. The Hilo hack is incredible.
Hmm. Very
It's
easy mod you can
easy
do to this
mod.
with a USB stick and plug it
Mhm.
in and play, hundreds of games. And just like we're doing with the iiRcade or
You
our
know,
AtGames with coin ops, you can do the Hilo hack with this. So it
yeah,
opens this up to that multi-cade experience and being able to mod this. Also, everything I've heard about the MVSX has been pretty positive. The
for
reviews
sure.
I've watched by Cornercade and
Hmm.
PD7 and everyone else out there that's done reviews on them, everyone's been really positive on this. There's been some minor gripes, like the
Yeah,
size of the game
in
deck.
my crew, Mikey J Productions and Punk Rock Dave have been huge fans of the MVSX since they got them, and they have the hacks. They have the Hilo hack on them, so I'm very familiar with it, and I've gotten a lot of feedback from them about the strengths and weaknesses of it.
Yeah,
It
so
does have a
there's
lot of strengths as well as some weaknesses. The weaknesses are like you're not going to emulate the more powerful games. Anything above like Neo Geo, you can forget about.
mhm.
So like the hardware was not that powerful, where you could run. You could run like you could run like Aliens versus Predator, like the basic Capcom stuff, and the Neo Geo games. But the more taxing games, it just can't do. So, but
But overall, though, positive experience for the people
positive,
that have
yeah,
bought it. People are recommending it
and
to other people. They've been happy with their purchase. It seems like everyone's been satisfied with the MVSX. So we've got a good track record with Unico. We've got a recent product that they've made that people have been happy with. So that's good. That's going to give us some.
hey, one more
At
thing about
least
the
early
VSX.
on, it's going to make us think that we could trust them and that this will probably be on our radar to buy this.
Yeah.
Now it's very early on. We still have a lot of unknowns on this, a lot of things we're going to learn over the coming months. And for me too, I'm
Mhm.
still really new to this. I don't
Mhm.
know much about it. I tried to do a little bit of research today before the live stream.
Mhm.
Kind of wanted to run through some of these pictures that I found
Mhm.
on it. And you had already mentioned one of the things I'd noticed in these pictures is it does have the horizontal and the vertical monitor. So
Yes.
you can choose
Rotate.
between, and
Mhm.
switch between a vertical and a horizontal.
Can I
We
say one
have
more
seen,
thing about the MVSX though? I really wanted
yeah,
to
go
say something
ahead.
before we moved on. Like we moved on. I know we're past it now. We're talking about the fresh new thing. But the MVSX, I do want to say this: when Arcade One Up was dropping games, arcades with 2 or 3 games, they dropped their arcade with 50 games right out the gate.
Right.
50 games, not three, not two, not one game, not 4 games, not even 14 games, 50 games. Now, yeah, there's a lot of repetition, but 50 games is still a pretty high value. I mean, when you say so, if the average was from 4 to 14 at the maximum, and then you drop 50, that's a big jump as far as the quantity of games that you get on one machine.
Oh yeah, 50 was, ton of
Yes.
games compared to
Yeah.
what we were getting on an arcade one up.
Mhm.
So that does bring up a good point as well. And something I thought about when you had mentioned that is
And we're talking no games on this new thing. No games. Zero.
maybe Unico's got a plan to release an aftermarket, board or an aftermarket
Mhm.
product that does have, 50 or 100 games on it that you can plug into this new candy cab. They could still release something separate that would be an aftermarket board or
Mhm.
something that you could
Mhm.
plug in and they create their own. But I do like the
Mhm.
ability we could pretty much put whatever we want in it. We
Man,
could put a
can you
Raspberry
imagine
Pi,
playing
we could put a
Truxton?
Viper
I'm like
board in it. We
Truxton
could,
2, Truxton 2 on this mug right here with the screen
Mhm.
like that. Man, Papa Brad would be in heaven. I'd be mashing those Samwa buttons, giving him a workout. I mean,
So
I could
the
totally see me loving this too. So, I mean, I'm not trying to pour water on it or anything. I'm totally not. But I'm saying, like, you got to realize that right now, you have AtGames which has engineering through, to the hilt, and they've had a hard time.
So we've
And
seen the horizontal, the
mhm,
vertical monitor, the ability to swap between the two
mhm,
on the At Games Legends Mini. And
mhm,
that was a nice feature. It was something that kind of drew me to that
for
product.
sure.
And it was something that I wish they had on the At Games Legends Ultimate. They
Mhm.
never did. The Mini was just a little too small for me. So I think it's nice we're going to get that feature on a more, full size or close to full size product in this one. And this is a 26-inch screen. So this is a huge screen in
Yeah.
comparison to, the 17-inch, 19-inch screens we've been playing on our arcade one up. What's on the AtGames Legends Ultimate? It's 26 inches.
I'm not sure if Carlo is here. He probably knows
I think
exactly.
it's a 26-inch
To me,
monitor on the
this
AtGames
is a
Legends
lot more
Ultimate.
like an arcade machine. Like, I would, the people that are buying pinball machines and have small arcades, I could see them buying this.
24 inches. So, okay. So it's only a 24-inch screen on our AtGames Legends Ultimate. It's also a widescreen monitor. It's just like what we would have on a TV. This is an actual, what is this, a 4x3 or a
monitor.
5x4? Do you know?
I'm not sure, but I know it's basically, I think it's like going to be one of their Unico arcade type monitors that they sell, because I know they sell like arcade replacement monitors, which, by the way, have not gotten glowing reviews. If you've really checked into it, the Unico monitors have not gotten that stellar reviews.
Oh, they haven't.
No, not from what I researched. With like certain images cut off and stuff. But they could put something totally new in this too. So I'm not sure, but from what I did try to research some of the Unico monitors, the arcade replacement monitors, and it was kind of like hit and miss. There were some positive and some negative reviews, which I was surprised.
So this is part of their advertisement for this unit here. It says 14 by 40 by 1080, 26-inch monitor. So that would indicate that it is a 4x3 aspect ratio. So that's going to bring something new to the game and to the table. With our AtGames Legends Ultimate, it's 24 inches, but it's a 16 by 9. This is an authentic, true, accurate aspect ratio to what an original arcade would be.
More like an actual candy cab.
Yeah, in a candy cab too, because the candy cabs had the much bigger screen. Where a lot of the original arcades were 17, 19-inch screens. The candy cabs did have the larger. I don't know the exact measurements of those screens in the original candy cabs, but I would believe they would be about 26 inches, maybe a little bit bigger. So this is going to be more in line with what we would experience in a real or sitting in front of a real candy cab. Also, it's going to have similar or same controls, sandwall sticks and buttons. The horizontal vertical mode support is huge. That's something we're not getting in a candy cab that we will get in this one. So they're bringing something new. Yeah. JAMA PC console ready plug and play. I like how it says plug and play. So I literally plug in my Xbox or my PlayStation. And
that is a big statement. Can they deliver that? That is a very big statement. Here's what I'm going to say. I'm just saying, like, they're saying that, but I mean, that is a very big statement. I mean,
yeah, because they're going to have to back that up. And
I mean, did they have the engineering to do that? Yeah.
But if that will be really cool. If like
maybe it's not
plug
that
my PlayStation 5
basically
in.
You got some SAMWA buttons and you got a monitor. So you have to have the monitor work and you have to have the buttons work with something. So if they put like a high-end encoder board, maybe one of those Brooks boards that has really good compatibility, maybe that goes away. I don't know. Like I'm not engineering this thing, they're engineering it. But it is if it does all that, that's impressive to me. If you can just switch out between like your consoles, but keep in mind, consoles that are not running high definition, not modern consoles, you're not going to be able to hook. I mean, that's a lower resolution monitor. It's made for arcade games.
Yeah, so we'll see what it looks like in person when this thing actually gets released, and we'll see if it looks great.
Jason is sharp. He's saying, well, with a monitor, like you don't even know, like what are the side angles like when you view it at an angle, what it's like. I mean, we know, Biggie D, how much have you had to talk about monitors in the past, since you've been on YouTube?
Oh, I mean, for the first year, it was all TN BOE monitors. Now they've finally gotten it back to only BOE. But we have a large experience or a lot of experience with crappy monitors.
So a monitor is an important thing. I mean, we're talking, this is a big monitor too. It's a 26-inch monitor. There's no one that has tested this that I've seen that has even like put their hands on it.
Yeah, it's a brand new product. I think they just released the monitor a couple months ago. So it's still brand new. I haven't seen any, reviews or anything on the screen yet. So it'll be interesting to see how good it looks. But I have faith. I have faith in Unico that they would not be making a product of this magnitude or this size or, of this scale if it wasn't ready for the lights, to be under the lights and to be in, in a big game and, and be in that situation. I don't think they would put this product out there not being ready for the spotlight.
Yeah.
Now, there are a couple of really cool features here. Real coin mech with base, bar top, full size arcade. So you have the option of just getting it in a bar top form. You can put it on a table, maybe save a little bit of money, or you can buy it as a total package with the base. And what's cool about the base is it has a real coin mechanism in that base.
Yeah.
So that brings
That's
a
a big
lot
trick,
to
though.
the table as well.
My arcade cabinet I built like whatever 10 years ago has a real coin door that works. That's no trick. I mean, you just buy an arcade coin door and hook it up. It's not like difficult to do.
Yeah,
But
this
it
is
cool
right
that
out
it
of the
has a coin
box.
door. Yeah.
Coin door installed
Mhm.
on the base, stock right out of the box, supported warranty, all that. So, I mean, that's huge.
So you could even have this maybe be commercial, huh? Since it has a coin door.
Now, I don't know about
Coin
that.
mech.
So, looking at this coin door,
Okay, Biggie D, off-center coin door. Are we going to have the same kind of outrage? Where's the outrage that they had for the AtGames? This is a super off-centered coin door. Look how off-centered that mug is. That's way
it
off-centered.
does say here, real coin mech with base, but it doesn't say much other about the functionality of this coin door. Is it going to be just like it is on the AtGames where, you just put a coin in and it drops to the bottom? Or does it actually start the game when you put the coin in?
Oh, I'm sure it will. That Biggie D, that is such an easy thing. People think that's a trick. That's like just one little micro switch wire you run. There's nothing to making that work.
And that's going to be compatible,
especially with MAME,
and plug and play with the PlayStation and the Xbox. They're going to have to configure that.
Yeah, I don't even think that would work with that. But I mean, I'm talking about with like arcade hardware. Like if you're running something like a MAME build or probably a JAMA board's the same way. I mean, it's that's the way they're set up.
Yeah, so if you're running arcade hardware,
if you're running arcade hardware, it's no big deal.
But you put a gaming console
or even
in
a
there,
PC.
the
Gaming
coin
console
door
would
won't
be a
work with
different
that.
situation. Yeah, I would think that would be a different situation.
It'll be interesting to find all this stuff out. There's a lot we have to figure out
engineering
about
that you
this
would have to
thing.
do
We still don't
to
know.
make a coin door work with your PlayStation.
But we've never seen anything like this. We've
This is
not.
new.
Arcade One Up has not had a coin op function. AtGames has not had that. We've just had molded coin doors that were faux coin doors. So this is a first within the home arcade community and a home arcade product that's built and meant for this, for retail like this is. So this is huge, and this is new, and I like it.
I like that it's metal. That's pretty cool. It has the wheels. You can roll it around.
Yeah, this is heavy duty.
You know that's going to be heavy if it's metal. That's not going to be no light, little light. That's all metal. That's not going to be real light.
A lot of these home arcade products we bought in the past, right? The iiRcade or the Arcade One Up or the AtGames, these are replicas, or they are trying to make them arcade accurate, but they still are toys, right? They're still made of cheap wood.
For sure.
They're still made of this, low quality, I guess you could say, especially on an Arcade One Up.
Right, heavy metal.
This is of like commercial quality, but for our home. So that kind of worries me, at what price tag is this going to come in at? This is going to be expensive. This is not going to be cheap.
Yeah.
Get a real candy cab, which this looks and appears to be almost like the real thing to me in these pictures. This could be $4,000 or $5,000 for a real candy cab.
I was looking at it, like the ones I was finding were like $2,000 to $2,500. That was Vuelix.
Like a brand new Vuelix is going to be like $4,500. What is this thing going to come in at? I'm sure they're going to try to target, less than $2,000 or less than $1,500.
I think this $1,500 would be where this thing should be.
But could they do that? Could they realistically get the price tag, let's say under $2,000? Would that even be possible with everything you're getting with this?
I'll see why not, honestly. I mean, Samwa buttons are not that expensive. The expensive part is all the molding and stuff, like the metal work and the stuff for the cabinet.
And that marquee, do we know anything about that marquee? Is that just a light up static marquee, or is that something that changes? Is that another screen? I've heard rumors that could even be a screen.
I think it's just a light up marquee. But that's like, if you look at candy cabs, that's the way they really are. I mean, they're made to be a blank slate. Like a candy cab is really all about the game that you put in it, and they're made where you can switch the monitor orientation and the games that are in it. So in real arcades, I mean, in a lot of events now, I see a lot of candy cabs showing up, big rows of them, where people just can sit down and play fighting games and different kind of shmups and different things that they put in them. But I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think there's a niche market that this is ideal for. This is ideal for the person that wants an affordable candy cab, and that is handy enough to basically put a game into it. Because this is not a game. This is something where you put a game into it.
Yeah, and I think products like this are going to be successful. And one of the reasons why I think something like this would be, ultra or highly successful is it's something totally different than what we've ever had before. So there's nothing that's been released prior to this that fits this, this category or this, what we're seeing and what we're getting with this. So it's, it's interesting, it's new, it's different. It's going to, definitely attract a very large audience. I think pretty much anyone in the home arcade community who's bought an arcade one up or has bought an AtGames is possibly or likely to be interested in this because it's offering us something different. And a lot of what we do and we build these game rooms and these home arcades is we try to simulate or create something similar to what we experience in a real arcade.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when we walk into a real arcade, we have, Marvel versus Capcom, we have Street Fighter, we have Mortal Kombat, we have Pac-Man, we have Galaga, but we've also got pinball tables. Mm-hmm. We've also got candy cabs. So there's these other things that we can be inserting into our game rooms and adding to these game rooms that will actually make it look even more like or feel more like a real arcade because we're adding
another choice.
We're adding an actual candy cab to our arcade, which we've never had before.
One thing I want to point out, Mystery Encoder did say that PS4, PS5, Xbox One will not accept third-party controls unless officially licensed.
So does that mean that these are going to be officially licensed?
No, there's no way they're going to be able to license from those companies. I'm thinking the best you could hope for is some kind of adapter, but I mean, he's right. I mean,
well, we saw with the
that's
Unico
a big
VSX,
statement.
Everything was 100% licensed on this cabinet.
It was.
Mm-hmm. So why would they advertise that? It's plug and play with. Well, it does say console ready. It doesn't tell us exactly which console.
It doesn't say how or which consoles. Right. It's very vague.
Yeah, very vague.
That console could be a Sega Dreamcast.
So this news broke.
I don't know. I mean, it's
on
very,
Friday.
It's very vague. Probably on purpose too.
I think this news broke on Friday. Was the first day. So
Brooks adapter. That's what
we're still only like 48 hours since the news broke. So I'm sure, next week and leading into Christmas, we're going to hear a lot more about this, get more clarification on, what we're getting, how this stuff's going to work and, how it's all going to play out. But very cool. And I wanted to touch on this subject because I'm no expert on it. I don't know if you feel like you're an expert on any of this, but
definitely
I did want to touch on it, talk about it because it's something I'm interested in getting. And I just like talking about stuff that I, potentially going to buy or, something that I'm targeting to buy in the future. So this is definitely one of those items.
Viggy D, one of the things I love about your channel, it's also always about price. It always is about price. I mean, if this is $1,000 to $1,500, it's more attractive than let's say this is $2,000 to $2,500. It becomes less of an option to have, at least for me personally.
Yeah, there comes a point. There's a point where you cross that line where you can't spend anymore. There's a target or a max amount of money that you can spend on a toy or something for your home that you're just going to play for fun. That for me, my limit on that is $400 or $500 per product for me. That's kind of why when we were talking about this 4KP, even though I'm super interested in these 4KP products,
me out of my comfort zone on price for sure. 100%. If I
even though I'm
a
super
lot of faith,
interested in these, I feel like a connection to the Peanut Snoopy table because I grew up watching Snoopy. It's way out of my price range.
It is,
at $1,099 even, it's out of my price range. It doesn't fit within my budget and what I can realistically with myself, responsibly spend. I can't responsibly spend $1,100 or $1,200 on a toy
Absolutely.
that I'm going to play, at home. And this is just something extra. There's so many other expenses I have in my life. I just can't justify that
I
much
know.
money for this.
I will say this though, kudos to AtGames for having the guts and the bravery. I mean, this is their most expensive product to date. This is
Yeah.
a whole different stratosphere for them.
So for
This is a
me,
big jump.
what
But
gets me excited about these more so than probably for
Mhm.
you, because you purchased one, is the AtGames Legends HD tables that are
Mhm.
going to start showing up on Facebook Marketplace.
That's going to be the
You
deal
know,
right there.
I'm going to try and get one of those
You
for
should
two or
scoop
three
one
hundred
up.
bucks, and then I'll at
Yeah.
least be playing some AtGames pinball with you guys, just not in 4K.
Yeah.
But
It's a
that's what I'm
shame.
looking forward to. I'm
Yeah.
working on a much smaller budget than a lot of you guys out there.
Yeah.
But
And
that's what I think a lot of people come to watch this channel, because
I think
they're
too,
also
yeah.
trying to work on a smaller budget,
I
and
think
they find a lot of what I
AtGames
cover
has
beneficial.
been listening to their people that are playing their machines, and they saw that people were buying different back boxes, aftermarket back boxes, the buy stuff store. The input, I think, from a lot of the people playing AtGames pinball was they wanted a more premium model.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're delivering that at a higher price, which is what it's going to cost to make something that's more premium or enough of a difference that it's noticeable. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What I am really glad is they didn't go halfway. It's like, they made a big enough jump that I feel like they're doing something. What would be
Mm-hmm.
bad is if it was like just a little bit more expensive, but there wasn't much difference. I
Yeah.
feel, like I don't want a deluxe version of the ALP, where it's
Yeah.
just a little bit better. It's still not like full sized or more like a real pinball, but it's just a little. I don't want enough of a jump that I feel like I'm getting something for my money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
They
like when there's not enough of
definitely
a jump, you don't feel that like need to buy it.
Yeah, they definitely delivered on this one. They're,
Mhm.
it is expensive, but everything you're getting, and like what Video Game Vegas is saying right there,
Mhm.
if you look at what you're getting with this 4KP, even at $1,500, it is a bargain. Even though it's outside of my price range, I do
Yeah.
see the value behind what you're getting with this product.
Biggie D,
Your
if you
bang
live
for your
near me, I
buck
would
is
make you an
huge
offer
with
you
this.
couldn't refuse on the ALP, so I could get you on board with having an ALP. You don't have an ALP yet?
Yeah, no ALP
Maybe you
yet.
don't
I've
live
been
close. I would
wanting
make
one
you an
for a
offer
long
you couldn't
time.
refuse for that one. Sure, I'd give you a deal that you just so you can enjoy the pinball.
I'm gonna be shopping them for $200-$300 and trying to get a used one here very
They're going to
soon.
be out there because what's going to happen is people are going to get this fancy new machine. They're going
Mm-hmm.
to put it in their arcade, and they're not going to play the other one as much. So I think you're going to be able to pick them up for a good deal. And the thing
Mm-hmm.
is, you can always mod it. Like it's an open and connected platform. So like you can hook a PC. There's a lot you can do with it. And I think the people that really went crazy modding theirs, this is less attractive. The 4KP is less attractive to the people that put a custom back box, that are running PC, VPX, and pinball effects through a high-end PC with a video card. I think it's a little less attractive because they've already have a lot of these features. You know what I'm saying? But if
Mm-hmm.
you look at how much money they spent, they probably spent more doing that than the new pinball, because you think about it, you have to have a good PC with a high-end video card. You have to have it's just there's a lot to it. And the back box is a huge upgrade. I mean, that's an expensive part. The buy
Yeah.
stuff back box is not cheap. It's a lot better though,
Yeah, 32-inch 4K or 4K screen, big back box with the 27-inch screen, isn't
Mhm.
it? And you're getting the artwork, you're getting the Zen
Screen
pinball
is great.
tables,
It's
light up topper,
same
a
size as
coin
the
door with
arcade as the
a
original ALU screen. It's a great screen too. Fantastic screen.
nicer speakers, the ability to upgrade the speaker to the with the subwoofer. I mean, this thing's
Lots
it's
of
going
options.
places. There's going to be so much to talk about with these products here in the coming months and the next year or two. These things are a great addition to the home arcade community. I'm really happy with what they're doing with these.
Yeah.
I want to get into one last subject to kind of close out the stream, and this is probably one of those subjects that you're probably not really high on, and that's Arcade One Up, because you've sold all your Arcade One Ups, isn't that right?
Yeah, I still have a few. Yeah, I have the Star Wars, which I modded with the Be Kong mod.
Hmm.
I have the Defender Partycade, their best arcade ever that hangs on a door. The
Yeah,
janky
the
Defender
Catalina
arcade that
wine
is
mixer.
it's so much better than it ever should be, but it's fantastic. It's got Gorf on it. It's got Tapper, Joust, Defender, Wizard of War. I mean, like, how they did not remake that? It's like this is the game
Their
lineup. This
best
is the
party
best
cade they
game
ever
lineup
made.
on our. This is the best game lineup they've ever done.
And you said you have three. What else do you have?
I also still have my Atari, my Tempest Atari.
Okay, so
But
you've
my wife
saved
hasn't
three of them.
played. My wife has not played Centipede on the iiRcade yet. So to be fair,
Do you
but she
feel
does
like
like simplicity. She can go click it on, and she loves Centipede. So that's her jam. You know.
do you feel potentially you may buy another arcade one up in the future?
I'll never say never. I mean, I'll never say never. But I mean, they would have to do something phenomenal at this point.
So
But
I
it's
wanted to take a
possible. I mean,
look.
it's always possible.
So I wanted to take a look at this list. So this list was from a few months back, and it was that leaked arcade one up list. Do you remember this?
Yes.
Okay. So let's run through this real quick. Remember what was on there. So it was Smash TV, Robotron,
Mhm.
Cowabunga Collection, Track and Field, Star Wars XL, Alien versus Predator, Big Blue V2, SF3, SFA
Mhm.
Legacy, MVC2 XL, SNK Big Red XL, Off Road 3-Player XL, Lethal Enforcers, Pac Man Royale, and 720. Now, there were only a few that I felt like would actually get made off of this list,
They're not going to make
uh,
720.
and that was the Smash TV Robotron, the Star Wars XL, and there was one other one. That was the MVC2 XL is what the ones I thought. Now, AVP was totally off. I did not think that was going to have any chance of getting made. But we did see a leak just here in the last couple of weeks of an Alien versus Predator right off of this list, Big Blue. And it had a games list of Alien versus Predator, Strider, Capcom Sports Club, Final Fight, Captain Commando, Pro Gear, Ghost and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts, Armored Warriors, King of Dragons. What did you think of this leak? Did this interest you at all?
Okay, I don't want to be. I know this is going to be, don't boo and hiss, but these are all games I've had on multicade for the past 10 years. Like, I've played these games to death on multicades.
Right.
So, like, this is less attractive to me. Like, a Star Wars XL is more attractive to me than this list because, like, you can run these Capcom games on a toaster. I mean, it does not take much to run basic Capcom games like Alien vs. Predator. Um, and this cab has no nostalgia. This is not what the arcade Alien vs. Predator looked like. It was just a kit that they would throw in a Big Blue. So
Mm-hmm.
this doesn't really even bring back the nostalgia of seeing that game in arcades. So for me, I would say this is like I already have like 10 ways to play this for me personally. But I have a big arcade collection of multicades. Not everyone has that. And some
So,
people they're building like they want to have a bunch of machines. I could see why they might want one of these, but not for me.
So I'm liking it initially.
Mhm.
Initial impressions are good. I like the cabinet design. I like that they're doing something new with the 3-player on the 4-player game deck.
Mhm.
I do like the marquee. I think the marquee, if that translates, to what they've been doing lately, like on the HS5 Deluxe, that's going to be a good looking marquee, a big one as well. And then the games list is decent. I'm
Mhm.
hoping that they add some more. Normally we get 14 games, so hopefully there's still room for 4 more good games that they could add to this. I've been watching some live streams in the last week or two,
I'm
and
going to
there's
ask you one question now. How much replay value is there in Alien vs. Predator? It's a basic beat 'em up. Like, you can run through it one time and you've seen the whole game. There's nothing to unlock. There's no extra secrets that unlock. It's basically the same beat 'em up forever. I mean,
yeah.
this is
I
like
mean,
this
your
is the kind of
replay
game.
value will be in the online. Being able to play with your friends
Yeah.
and be able to hop on a
Mhm.
game. But you're right. I mean, the marquee
This is a good
title.
multicade game because there's not much extra to
Mhm.
it, and it's not a score chasing game either. It has an end.
You're right.
You really can't score chase on Alien vs Predator.
You're right.
What was the complete game list? Capcom Sports Club I had in my Big Blue, and I actually liked that little game. That was kind of fun to play.
Mm-hmm.
But you know,
yeah. So
I
a
think
lot of these games
Mhm,
we've seen on previous,
mhm,
Street Fighter cabinets.
mhm,
Now they are throwing a couple in there, the Ghost and Goblins and Ghouls and Ghosts. We did see the Ghost and Goblins
mhm.
on the final fight. We
Is it
have
going to
not
have a
seen Ghouls
four-way
and Ghosts
joystick?
yet.
Because those games require a four-way joystick.
Yes, that I don't know.
Because it'll
And
have to be eight-way for Alien vs Predator. So there's a mismatch in games right there.
yeah,
Putting four-way games on an eight-way control system
and
without
this is
gate
something
switchers.
that Arcade One Up has, definitely been criticized on. Is the
Mm.
controls and not being accurate or authentic controls.
They should take off Ghouls and Ghosts and put on Darkstalkers.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have the right. Then you don't have the right amount of buttons, do you? Because Darkstalkers is a 6-button game. This is what, a 3-button game. I'm trying to look at the blurry picture.
So we
Is it?
spent the first hour and a half or so of this live stream talking about 3 products, right?
Mhm,
The Ultimate Control Panel,
mhm.
which is a high quality product. We're talking about the new 4KP, which we've talked about. They've really delivered, and we feel like it's worth the money, and it's quality for what you're getting, and real bargain at
Oh, there's the
1,500.
list. Okay.
And then we've talked about most recently the Unico
Mhm.
Candy Cab. These very high quality. This is a different category. Arcade One Up doesn't really fit either of those 3 categories we just discussed, or those products that we just discussed.
But
This
people
is
love to
in its
collect them, though. These
this
are
is in its
collectibles.
like
People do
own
collect them.
category. This is more of a lower quality, but it's also a lower priced item. Maybe this comes in at $4.99, or maybe it comes in at $5.99. Do you expect to get a lot of what you criticized on this? Do you expect to get those things at that price tag?
I mean, to me, I had the Big Blue, and I did enjoy having it, but I'm ultimately ended up selling it. But I would say, like, one of the flaws of this setup is, like, the games list isn't right. Um, Definitely Ghouls and Ghosts and Goblins need to be off this list. They need to put games that work with the controls that come on it. I will say that I do like it that it has a good shmup. Pro Gear is a good shmup. It's not a bad list, but I mean, once again, this is like multicade type setup. Like, these games all play excellent on a basic multicade. But I understand people collect arcade one-ups. They like having a collection with a lot of different cabinets that bring back nostalgia. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think a
I
lot of
mean,
it
that
is
it's a
collecting.
collectible. It's almost like collecting. You got to have them all, like Pokemon. You got to catch them all.
Yeah, where
And if I
you're
had
buying.
20 arcades, if I had 16 arcade one-ups, and I bought every arcade one-up when it came out, I would probably think to myself, I need to have this. This is Alien vs Predator. But they really should be looking at the games list and at least putting games that are compatible with the controls that are on it. It's like when they put Paperboy on Mortal Kombat. I mean, that game doesn't belong.
Yeah, it'll
It's
never
like
play
you'd be
right.
better off just not putting the game on there. I
Yeah.
mean, because it's just, I don't know. It's like it doesn't belong there.
They do make decisions that make you think, like, who
Uh,
made this decision, or why did they make this decision? And you ask that to
like, they
yourself when
could
it comes to
ask
Arcade
anyone
One
that's
Up.
into arcade games, whether it's me or you, Biggie D. You probably now you definitely have the knowledge because I see that you're a gamer. You play the games. I've seen your streams where you play the games. You could kick my butt in Ghosts and Goblins or Ghouls and Ghosts because I watched you play and I saw that you're a real gamer. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
What
I
I'm saying
love
is,
Ghost of
like,
Goblins.
if you're going to do the cab, at least put the games that work with the controls that come on it. That would be a room for improvement.
Yeah.
Um, you know, and
I hear what you're saying, and I did like your point in which you're saying, like, an Arcade One Up, it's lower cost. We like to collect them. It's more about
people
the
love
collection
collecting
of
them. Yeah,
them
it's like
and having
Pokemon.
a
You got to get
bunch
them
of
all.
different arcades that all look different
Mhm,
and all stack them and sit
mhm.
them next to each other, giving you that appearance of a real
And you
arcade.
turn them all on, and you have all those sounds coming from all those different machines, and it feels like you're in your own little arcade, which is
Yeah,
cool. I mean,
where, like,
I'm
with
not
that
hating on
games,
anything.
we're getting this really high quality product. We're spending a ton of money on it, but we're only buying one.
Yeah, we're buying
where
one.
where we could potentially buy 4, 5, possibly 6 arcade one-ups with that
Yeah.
amount of money.
And that's the thing too. Biggie D, props and respect to you because thanks to you, you taught me how to buy them right. You buy them on sale.
Yeah,
And
everything you
because
get
I
on sale.
bought every single arcade one up that I did buy, some of them I bought directly from when you did one of your things where you said, this is a good game to get. Now's the time to buy this. And I bought them on sale. When I did resell them, I did not lose as much money because I bought it on sale to begin with. So I think if you
Mhm.
buy them right, you can have a ton of them. And
Yeah.
you
And
know,
that's what
I
I'm
have
doing
no
again
hatred
this
at all.
year is, I've seen really good deals, and that's kind of what I wanted to get into next was a little bit of Black Friday shopping to kind of
This
close out the stream. There was only one other thing I wanted to mention right before we get into that, and that was another one that was on that
mhm,
list that I think is going to be coming possibly even in January at CES is this Robotron Smash TV. I
mhm,
think this is a
Robotron.
guarantee, and it may be coming as early as January. It's going to have Robotron, Smash TV, Total Carnage. It'll be one mold with two different artwork. It'll be one Robotron, one Smash TV, same games list on both. Are you even a little bit interested in one of these?
Well, they both have to have the 4 joysticks because you can't play Smash TV without having 4 joysticks. So the Robotron would have to be a little different
Mm-hmm.
to be able to play Smash TV 2-player. Yeah, I love these games. I mean, like if you were to ask me what my jam is, like Robotron, Williams, 80s arcade games, I'm a huge fan, you know. But you know, I have a ALU and I can play Robotron. It plays great on it. So it's like it depends on the execution. If they execute it well, I mean, I could see me wanting one of these. I mean, I don't
Okay.
know.
So that's good to hear. So if Arcade One Up follows through and they make a decent product or
Mhm.
quality product, and they do it right, basically what I'm hearing is if they do it right, you'll be interested.
Yes, absolutely.
That's good. So they bring the title you want. They've done that with the Robotron and the Smash. Now they just got to get it right,
Got to get it
deliver,
right and
and
deliver
you'll
on the
buy.
execution of the product for sure. I mean, here's my thing too, Biggie D. This is not a bad thing. Like Arcade One Up is bringing more people into the arcade hobby. And I just want people to love these games because these games are great. They deserve to be played, they deserve to be enjoyed. And anything that brings people back into arcades, whether it's real arcades or into the hobby of playing games, high score chasing, I'm a fan of that, you know. And if Arcade One Up does that, that's a plus to the hobby.
Yeah,
That's
it
the way I look
helps.
at it. I mean, you can look at some people, you know, they love to hate on Arcade One Up, but they do bring people into the hobby, and it is a gateway. I hate to say gateway drug. These aren't drugs. I mean, it's not drugs. It's anything but that. But it's a gateway into the arcade hobby. It's an affordable way for people to maybe get a feeling of what it was like. I lived through the 80s. Like when I was a kid, all these they had real. I mean, I remember the golden age of arcades. I lived through. I'm an old man. Like I was a
Yeah,
kid when the arcades were the big thing. So like I went to these big arcades and I went through the whole thing. So I mean, anything that brings people back into this, I'm a fan of.
yeah, and
You
that's
know,
true. Like Arcade One Up
I
is kind of
love the
like the
games.
entry point. That's where we've all pretty much started was
Mhm,
with Arcade One Up, and that's what's led us to
mhm,
where we're at today, where we have these like awesome
yeah,
iArcades, even these new
yeah,
wave
yeah.
toys,
So
the
many
at
cool. We live in a
games.
golden age. We have more choice and we have better stuff and more choice than we've ever. We live. I tell people that all the time. We live in a golden age of home arcade. There's never been as much as as much good quality stuff you can get that is
Yeah.
arcade related as there is today. So
Yep.
like you're living in the golden age. This is the peak. Like you're at the top now. This is the golden age of having arcades at
We
home.
got in right when it started too. Like
Yeah.
we were the early adopters of
I
this,
mean,
and hopefully it'll grow. And these companies will make these really great products, and people will notice them and buy them and be happy, and more people will get interested in this.
mm,
And I've seen it grow. Over the last few years, I feel like it's grown, and we've seen a lot of new things being created, really cool stuff like this Nova Blast candy cab that we're about to see. It's like there's always going to be something around the corner, something new,
for sure.
something different, some company offering something unique, and we're going to be here talking about it. And people hopefully will be new to this hobby and joining us and engaging and doing this with us. Now, want to get into some Black Friday predictions, kind of close out the stream, because I'm always talking about deals and how to save money on Arcade One Up or any home arcade product. But one of my specialties and what I've done really well with is, predicting Arcade One Up pricing and how can we find the deals, where can we find them. And one of my early predictions about a month ago was going to be the Street Fighter Yoga Flame. And I had predicted this is my number one on my list for Black Friday savings coming up here on Friday. So we're finally there here, about 5 days away from actual Black Friday. And we've seen a lot of lead up on this cabinet in particular. And we've seen some really good prices. I think the best price I've seen so far is $349 at Kohl's with $105 Kohl's cash and 5% back in rewards. That was about a week or two ago. This was pulled today, $349 with $70 Kohl's cash, 5% back in rewards. I don't think you can go wrong with this deal. I think this is still an incredible deal right here. But if you can wait it out just a few more days and you can kind of take a risk in this maybe getting sold out or the prices going back up, I think that we're going to see even an even better deal on Friday. I've actually got a little bit of inside information from someone who had commented on a video of mine that we were going to see higher Kohl's cash on Black Friday. So where it's $70 Kohl's cash, will go back up to $105 Kohl's cash on Friday. Now, what I'm hoping is we see the $349 sale go down to $299 or go down to $249. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. So I'm still hoping for even more off this price, another $50 off, more Kohl's cash here in just a few days. This is my number one Black Friday prediction. This is my number one cabinet that I'm going to probably get on Friday. Do you have any interest in this? If it's, $250 or $300, you can
I will say this. Someone who I have tremendous respect for, Steps Gaming, so this is one of the best fighting cabinets from Arcade One Up. Mm-hmm. There is the blue Shinko one, which I think is more attractive, but the games list and what this cab offers, it's a very, for if you like fighting games, this is one of the best Arcade One Ups right now. So, I mean, in my opinion, like if you like Street Fighter and the games list, this is, definitely, I mean, if it goes down in price, you want to buy it at a good price, but I think it's a good cab. I mean, I had the big blue. I liked it when I owned it. It was okay. It was pretty fun. This has an even better, a little faster, a little better emulation. So yeah,
that was my number one.
That's a good deal.
I want to get it. Steps told me the same thing. She told me it was, a great cabinet. You definitely should get it. That's a terrific price. It's a cabinet with a lot of replay value. You can play online. You can participate in the fighting tournaments for Street Fighter. Also, it's got a lot of beat 'em up games. If you like beat 'em up games, you can play those.
I think it's
online.
Got Pro Gear too. I think it doesn't have to come with Pro Gear. That's a good shmup.
Yeah. So this is a good all around arcade to get on Black Friday.
If you want mainly fighting games, it's a good cab to get.
That was my number one. My number two was going to be the Mortal Kombat 30th. Interesting. I saw the price go back up on it, but it went back down to $399. I saw this weekend. So maybe it is still prime for a really big deal on Friday.
You like that more than the deluxe?
I would, yeah. So I'm a big fan of the creator of this artwork, and I've met him personally, and I just have like an appreciation for this artwork. And I know the screen sucks on it. It's got a TN monitor, and I'm going to have to replace that with a BOE monitor, and that's going to be a lot of work and extra money. But I'm really buying it for what I see on the outside.
You like the graphics.
Yeah, I like the original MK1 artwork.
Good. That's a valid.
And, I want to get Johnny Cage on the side. I want to get the Daniel Pacina artwork there on the side.
Yeah. What's your opinion of the deluxe without the riser and being skinny like that without the riser and just being tall?
So the
Do you like that
deluxe,
form factor, or are you not so much a fan of it?
that's a good question. So I do like the risers actually, because I'm in an
Uh,
apartment still,
okay.
and it does make it a little bit easier to move them. It also makes them a little bit more stable, I hear. But I do like the look, the streamlined look of the artwork
Mm,
going all the way down to the bottom. So it's a toss up. When you
mm,
ask me that question, I'd say it's a toss up. There's pros and cons to both the riser and no riser.
mm.
So I would be happy with either. Basically, I'll
Awesome.
get whatever Mortal Kombat's lowest. And the way it's looking today, which we're only a few days removed now from the actual Black Friday coming, it's looking now more like it's going to go back to MK30th. That's going to be the big deal. And we may get like $100 off on the deluxe. So I'll probably end up with the 30th. But like if I could get for $500, let's say, or $600, if I could get both Street Fighter Yoga Flame right here
Mm,
and for 350, let's say that goes down to 300, and then MK 30th, which is 400, let's say it goes down to 300, and I can get both for $600 with a couple $100 in Kohl's cash
mm.
and 5% back in rewards. I think that would have been a good Black Friday. I would have gotten two excellent fighting games, both online playable, staples in the arcade, cabinets I've been waiting to get for a very long time. And I finally pulled the trigger Black Friday 2023, get both of them at, $600. I would be a happy camper.
Do you think we'll see any more like the deals where it's like $200 to $250?
I don't know. Last year around
'Cause
this time,
there were some smoking deals that you turned me on to. I mean, I remember I got some great deals on the cabs that I bought.
yeah.
I mean,
So
do you think
around
we're
this
going to see
time
some
last
deals in the
year,
200 to
Ridge
$250
Racer
range?
was $200 around this
Mhm.
time last year. Simpsons
I
was
bought one of those from
$200.
Best Buy.
Yeah, there were some incredible, crazy deals around this time last year,
Mhm.
and we're not seeing those.
Not seeing
We're
those deep cuts like that with the prices.
we're getting close. $300 here on this head
What do
to
you
head.
think's the most likely to go really low out of the whole lineup? Something like T2 that they've had for a long time, or
I
what do you
think that
think's most
Yoga
likely to go
Flame.
low?
I think this Yoga Flame is one that they've mass produced. They still have a lot of inventory left of them. You've got the HS5 Deluxe about to come out or already out. They're about to come out with a classic version of that. So this has definitely got to go. This is the one cabinet that they have to get rid of. So this, I said, could go down as low as 249, but I'm
Mhm.
thinking 299, which is about $150 to $100 more than what we were seeing this time last year. So we know the prices are going up. We know there's inflation.
Mhm.
So we're going to understand that these prices are going to be a little bit higher, but they're not going to be that much higher. This is kind of interesting here, seeing this Dragon's Lair at $499.
Yeah.
All year we haven't really seen many deals on this cabinet. Now we're starting to see some deals. This could be one that you could maybe get for $399 with $100 Kohl's cash on Friday. So it's going to be interesting. A lot of stuff I'm going to be covering. I'm off on Thursday and Friday. So I'm going to be at home working on my Ghost and Goblins and my Coke Zero review. But also during that time, I'm going to be
To
making
those.
Black Friday content, keeping everybody up to date on what's going to be happening at the stores, where you need to go to find these deals, and maybe I'll even get out and do a walk and talk on Friday and get out there in the crowds and the chaos to report that back to you guys.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna say, I have appreciated your finding me good deals,
Yeah,
and thank you. That you go out and you find the deals, and then you post them so everyone can scoop up those low prices. That makes a big difference. When you're buying stuff. I mean, we all work hard for our money, don't we, Biggie D?
oh yeah,
We work hard for our money, and I want to get the most for my money, and I do appreciate that. And I'm glad I get to tell you in person. That's one of the things you do. That's great, and it's actually a big service this community. That you are while you are promoting Arcade One Up in a way, but what you're really promoting is being a good consumer. Buy
mm-hmm.
things at a good price and spend your money. Get the most for your money.
Yep, most bang for your buck.
Regardless of whether you like Arcade One Up or don't, Biggie D's out there finding us the deals, so we're not overpaying and we're getting the most for our money. And that did make a difference. Like when I resold them, that helped that I got on most of those cabs on sale. So thank you. You know, I didn't really lose my shirt really is too bad, you know, because I bought most of them at a good price.
Yeah, so if I count my arcade cabinets, right, I've got one upstairs, I've got 3 right here, so that's 4 arcade one-ups. I've got my pinball, that's 5 arcade one-ups. Got my AtGames, or I've got 2 AtGames because I got the Legends Gamer Pro plus
Yeah.
the AtGames Legends Ultimate. So I've got 2 of those. So I've got what is that? 4, 5, 6, 7 plus my iiRcade, which is maxed out now with the Ultimate Control Panel. If I count up like all those arcades, right, and I add it all up, it would probably be, and I could do that real quick for you. Let's see here, 150 for the Killer Instinct, 199 for the Miss Pac-Man.
Sometimes buy them right. Look at that. Look, see what I'm saying? You buy them
Marvel
right.
Superheroes.
You can have a room. You can have
the most I paid was for the iiRcade because I bought it from P Dubs used for $400. That was the most I've ever paid. And then I paid $300 for the pinball. I paid $300 for the AtGames Legends Ultimate, and I paid $75 for my Final Fight. So if I add up all these arcades, it adds up to $1,574.
Very reasonable for the amount of entertainment that you're getting out of them.
Add $200 for the Ultimate Control Panel. I'm at $1,774. So that's what I paid total for everything that I have. So your money can go a long way. You just have to buy at the right time.
It's like fishing.
Yeah,
you gotta strike when the fish are biting. You gotta get it when it's a good deal. When the fish are biting, it's when you reel it in. You know, you reel it in.
Yeah,
you make that trip out to wherever you need to go to pick up that arcade one up for that discounted price.
You know, these companies are trying to lure you in. You know, very early on.
Don't pay full price ever.
With the FOMO and all that.
The cabinet I lost the most money on was Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I was like, I gotta have it. I gotta have it. I gotta have it. I paid $650 for it. I put all SandWalk controls on it. I was lucky I got $300 for it rolling it out the door. So that's a $350 loss plus modding it.
Yeah, the cabinet's not going anywhere. Marvel vs. Capcom will still be here a year from now. If you can just wait.
Buy it right.
And just let other people enjoy it for a little bit, you're going to get it for about half that price.
And the thing about gaming too is, and this is going to sound crazy, and I know people don't want to hear this. Everyone wants to have the newest, the freshest thing, but if you don't have to have the newest thing, like you can get the deals. The deal is actually going to be the ALU HD. I mean, the ALP4 HD will be the deal. Yeah, you're going to be able to pick those up when all these 4K pinballs start rolling out. Everyone gets the fresh new hotness. Those are going to be the deals. Yeah. And I'm telling you,
you'll get on Facebook Marketplace. There'll be 4 or 5 of them for sale.
Having that ALP HD for the past 2 years, I have loved having it and playing it. I play that thing all the time. And it's if you don't have to have the newest thing, but you're talking to the wrong person. I'm still playing Atari 2600 games. Some say that's taking it to a whole different extreme. But what I'm saying is if you don't have to have the newest thing, you still can get a lot of enjoyment out of things and not spend a fortune. Yeah. And I really love your channel that you are for the consumer. You are looking out for the people to get them the good deals. And shout out to you, Biggie D. Biggie D, you are legit, sir.
Yeah, and that's about to really, on Friday, the whole year we've been talking about deals. We've been talking about how can you save money on these home arcades. That's all going to come full circle on Friday. When Black Friday hits, guaranteed that's the lowest price of the year. So if you've been waiting this long, get ready because pull out your wallet on Friday because that's going to be the day we can get, 2 or 3 arcades added to our game rooms for, a third or half of the price of what we would have paid, when the product came out. So get ready, guys, buckle up. It's about to get crazy here in just a few days. But I appreciate
one last thing about the golden age of arcades that we live in, because we do, like, if you're talking about having arcades in your home, like home arcades, the one last thing I'll say is not only do we have better and more home arcades than we've ever had, better quality, more choice than we've ever had, We also have people that are helping us to expand what our machines can even do, like Mystery Encoder, who's giving us a whole different level, like the iiRcade. I hate to keep going back there. I want to say one last thing. That was a dead product. That product
Mhm.
would have been a dead product if it wasn't for Mystery Encoder. So not only do we have great products that are better than ever, we have people that help get us more value out of what we already have. And
Yeah.
that is a tremendous thing. And that is something that I think is like we're getting more of that. Like it's more going that way where we're getting more value out of what we already have. So I'd like to
Yeah.
see that continue, personally. How about you? I
Yeah,
mean,
we're so lucky to have people like Glenn and his company
Glenn,
GRS
cool.
Products putting stuff out there for us to
New
enjoy
Wave
and
Toys,
really going
someone that
out of his
cares
way to
about
bring
like
stuff
putting
to
out a good
us.
product. New Wave Toys, the
Mhm.
Replicades. I mean, those things are cool. I mean, like I could have shelves of them. I love them. I mean, they're really cool. I mean, the Replicades. There's a lot of cool stuff that like I think the home arcade and like the arcade, just this whole thing is better than we have more and better toys and arcade nostalgia based products than we've ever had. It's insane. It's really great.
Yeah, and I like that you're bringing up the new wave toys because that's something
Mhm,
new to my game room that I just
mhm.
added
Yeah, they're
here within the
cool.
last couple
Really
weeks,
cool.
and I
I play
haven't
my
really.
Cubert more than I should. It's a little tiny arcade, but I still love it. I love it. It's like a little miniature Cubert, and it plays like a little Cubert. I love it. More of that,
And a
more
lot of
quality.
making reviews and
Mhm,
making content is the setup. You have to
mhm,
set the stage and you have to set the lighting and you have to,
for sure.
do all that. And I just spent a lot of that time this morning setting up my stage for my review because I've got, my new Coke review coming soon. I've got my Ghost and Goblins, and I went the extra mile and did the extra work to make sure the lighting's all perfect and all
Mhm,
that. So I've got everything set up, and I'm going to start doing that on Thursday. I'm off work on Thursday. Start on
mhm,
that on Thursday. Hopefully, get at least the new Coke review out
mhm,
by this next weekend. So you guys tune in for that. That's
for
coming very
sure.
soon. And also want to thank Jason. Jason is a huge supporter of this
Jason is
channel.
awesome.
He's also one of our
Mhm.
moderators. He's a big part of making sure these shows go smoothly every Sunday and people are able to enjoy
Huge fan of
themselves in the
Jason.
chat.
Jason's a good guy.
But he just sent over a huge super chat of $10. He says,
Thank
"Great
you.
show tonight. I hope you all enjoy your holiday. Appreciate you stopping by, Brad. Stay legit."
Well, I'm gonna
So,
stay legit. And one thing I want to say about Papa Brad's gaming, like I am not a YouTuber. I came at this from being a moderator, just like Jason. I'm proof that anyone could get on YouTube and do this. I mean, I went from 0 subs. Right now, between my two channels, I have 3,720 subscribers. And I started with nothing, just like you did. And
mhm.
I'm thankful to be in such a good community. And there's so many people that, you know, we gotta like be more together and like be less about seeing the differences in people and remembering that we all love these games, and
Mhm.
like the love of arcade and pinball should be like what's bringing us together. All the
Yeah,
rest of the
that's
stuff is static and noise. you
That's
know
what it's all about. We buy these toys, we really enjoy them,
mm,
but meeting the people, like when I went to Cleveland and I got to meet everyone face to face, and
for
everyone
sure.
is just as nice and helpful and welcoming as we are online. It
I'm
just,
going to say this too. Like when I went to the Houston arcade pinball, there are people that came up to me that knew me from YouTube that I
mhm.
didn't know, but they knew who I was, and it was awesome. I mean, we are in a great time because YouTube makes the world a lot smaller. I
Yeah,
mean, like even like my tiny channel, there were people that knew who I was, which was cool when they came up, and I played pinball with some people that that watched my content, and that was very cool. That was the first time that's ever happened.
yeah, I think
So I
that's the
mean.
best part about what we do and what we're doing here is the
Mhm,
best part is the meeting people and becoming
mhm,
friends with people and connecting with other people that like the
mhm.
same things that we do. And I think that's the ultimate thing that we can
And
take
it's
out of all
great
this.
when it's great. Like we can disagree, we can have different opinions, and that's not a problem. That's not a big deal. Like
Mhm.
you can have a totally different opinion than me, and I'm not going to hate you for it. I'm going to appreciate your opinion because it makes things more interesting. Like I
Yeah,
don't
if
want to
we were
watch
all
shows
saying and
where
doing the
everyone
same
says the
thing,
same thing. It's boring to watch, right? I
yeah,
mean, like put on some people that don't agree with you, but that are civil.
Right.
And that's how you make, I think, YouTube content. That's what I like to watch. I wish it was more of that,
Yeah, everyone brings
light
something to the
discussion with
table.
disagreement,
And everyone's
but
got a way that they think about something. It's interesting to hear other perspectives and the way people see things. And I always think of that way. I don't think, oh, they think differently than me. I think, oh, I like that they think differently than me because it gives me another way of looking at it. So a
I do
lot
too.
like tonight. We had these discussions tonight, and you see things differently than me on some certain subjects.
For sure.
But it's good to be able to talk about those things, figure
Right.
out why we think that way.
You know,
So really appreciate you joining me tonight, Papa Brad. And this has been really entertaining, I think, for the audience. Everyone seems to have really enjoyed this. So
it
we'll have
was
to
a
do this
pleasure.
again here,
And
sometime.
anytime, if you want to pop in on one of my streams, or you have an open invite. So
Awesome.
thank you so much. It was really a pleasure to be here in person with you. And I love your show. Keep it up, man. And I'll be watching from either side, whether I'm on the show or I'm in the chat. I just I think you're a breath of fresh air in this home arcade community.
And same, Brad. I watch you guys. I watch Arcade Talk, and I watch your live streams every Thursday and Saturday. So definitely go check
Yeah,
out Arcade Talk. They do a live stream on
yeah,
Thursdays and Saturday nights.
yeah,
Papa
yeah.
Brad and T. McCloskey. And then you've got live streams that you'll do randomly on your
Yeah,
channel
randomly.
as well.
Papa Brad is all over the place. Papa Brad's gaming, and actually, I split my. I have Papa Brad's gaming will be all like pre-recorded videos, pre-recorded, and all my live stream stuff is going to be on Papa Brad Live.
Okay, so
So I'll have a live
it
stream
was the
channel. It
iArcadians,
was the
and
iArcadians,
now
which
it's
is
Papa
basically
Brad
all my live
Live.
stream content. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm finding like people don't even know that I'm putting the live streams there. So I'm missing some of the viewers that I would have, but eventually like it'll become clear that's where they're going. So
Well,
but
keep it up, man, because you've been
thank you.
putting
I
out
love
some
it.
really good stuff. Like all
I
this
love it.
Ultimate Control Panel stuff you've been putting out. I've been
My
really
goal
enjoying.
is to have a short of every arcade game from the golden age of arcade games. I think I got 280 arcade games and pinballs filmed. My goal is to have them all on my channel and shorts. But my shorts are all demonetized. They use all kind of cool music. If you haven't checked out my shorts on arcade stuff, if you're a fan of just looking at real arcade machines, a lot of people find me through that too, which is surprising. Like people don't understand how my channel works. My channel, I do a lot of shorts, and the shorts bring people into my channel. And then they say, "Oh, well, this guy loves arcade games. Maybe I'll subscribe to Papa Brad." But I do. I love these games. That's what it's all about. I love these games. I mean, you'll see. Like if I play pinball with you, be prepared. I'm not too
It comes
bad.
through in your videos
Yeah,
too. You
I
can
love this
see
stuff,
how
man. I
much you
love it.
enjoy it.
I love it. I mean, and you don't have to be the greatest video gamer to love it, but I do love this hobby. It's a great hobby, and I hope it continues to grow. I really do. I hope it doesn't. There are people that are like, home arcade is dying. I don't think it's dying. I think it's always been changing. Like I was into this before it was popular. I built my own main cabinet, but it will continue.
It's not over.
It's like the people that love the games are always going to love the games. Go to an arcade convention and check out the people there, and tell me if they're going to go away and stop loving these games. They're never going to. I mean, they love it. I mean, but that's it. That's all I got to say. I'm off my soapbox, but I'm glad I'm here, and I'm glad
it was awesome.
I've been waiting a long time to come on.
It was awesome. It was a pleasure having you. I've had
someone
a really good time.
Respect to be on their show.
I just want to tell everyone out there in the audience, have a good Monday. A good start to your week this week. It should be a short one. Hopefully, you got Thanksgiving coming up here at the end of the week. And we'll be covering, when you get done with your Thanksgiving food and you're ready to hit the stores or you're ready to hit online shopping, make sure to tune into Biggie D's Arcade, because I'm going to be definitely focused on, trying to get those deals and save as much money as you can this Thanksgiving. So I appreciate you guys joining us. Hope you guys have enjoyed this Chill and Chat number 46 with Papa Brad Gaming, and I'll see everyone in the next one. Bye-bye.